interacting with people who can't offer you anything. There should be this thing that they know about you, that they know you are like this. Yes, I think that's something I've learned today.
Branding is both at individual perspective, but also there's also an organizational perspective. And it's important that institutions and organizations and leaders understand that they should be able to give employees and those who work with them opportunities to be able to self-brand, as well as those self-brands contribute to the larger picture of the organization. And also organizations should also have a culture of branding that basically also communicates to their clientele about the positioning of those particular organizations.
Anyway,
Okay, so what do we have today, Vicky?
today we have a very brief program,
Yeah.
and we are going to be having remarks from one of our directors here. Her name is Stella Nderitu, the one and only Stella Nderitu. Give her a clap. And then later on, we're going to be hearing from Gerald Acho, and the program will go on and on. But to begin with, we're going to start with a word of prayer and the national anthem.
Okay, where is Josiah? Please come up for the prayer, and then after Josiah. Amen, amen. Vicky, just before we go to the anthems, yes, you can have your seat. There are a couple of alumni who are in our midst. See, tuwapigie shangwe na nderemo kidogo. So the alumni, just raise your hand first of all, we see you. Mr. Karani, you are officially an alumni. Hata kama Andreas hajafanya ile kitu, alumni wako wapi? Naona hapa watatu, naona mwingine pale, ni wengi. Wapigiwe makofi tafadhali. Aya, wamepigiwa makofi, very nice. Now I have a quiz.
Okay.
Yes, I have a quiz. Who is ready? Who is ready? So who knows ELF? If you think you know ELF better than anyone else in this room, let me see you. Yo. Wapi watu wa communication? Kuna watu hapa wajui hii organization inakaa namna gani. Okay, who thinks they know about ELF? A little bit. Kidogo tu. Kila mtu ana shout president. What is happening? Okay. Aya. Who wants to try to test their knowledge of ELF? To test your knowledge. Nobody wants to try. You know, when I finished school, before I went to college, I was hired as a teacher. And then today I still teach Sunday school. So I'm going to practice my teaching skills here, all right? And because you all went through 844, all of you went through 844. I went abroad. I went to school abroad. I have seen someone there. You want to try? Okay, excellent. Na nianzie gani? How many programs do you think ELF runs? 3. Apigiwe makofi yake. Cheboy unakuanga na gifts. Wapi Cheboy? Unakuanga na gifts. Uko na gifts mahali. Tutafute tu gift tu hapa. I want to try. Who else wants to test their knowledge? Okay, while we are at it, let's do this. We can get our phones. We go on social media because we are live, and I want you to tell your people that we are here. Vicky, what social media are you not on? Let me not start the other way around.
You mean what social media am I not on?
You tell us the one you're not on.
I'm not on Facebook.
Yo.
I'm not on TikTok.
Hey. Who else is not on TikTok? Guy. No. Okay, who is on TikTok? Aya, watu wa TikTok tutatengeneza chama. 2027 we are coming for you, the rest of you. Na chama ya TikTokers. Okay. So you have your phone, eh? Go to your best. Before you go to your best social media platform, go to your camera. Alafu weke ka selfie. Where is my phone? Weke ka selfie. Ukiweka ka selfie, eh?
I don't have my phone. You can take a picture of me. For me. Thank you.
Mimi nitapiga selfie na wewe Viki, lakini ujue ukipigwa picha na mtu wa wewe unangojea tu. Atakutumia picha kitu. Piga selfie. Have you taken a selfie? We are waiting for you to take a selfie. Everybody. Sisi tumepiga kama 17. Sasa Viki ujue hizi picha mimi naenda kupost. Sasa kama kuna mtu ataziona alafu alete shida shauria, it is an open market.
Mtu mgani?
Sijui. It is an open market. Umepiga selfie, now go to your favorite social media platform. Post there that photo. And this is what we are going to write. Or write whatever you want to write. But just use the hashtag iLEAD 10 graduation. Hashtag iLEAD 10 graduation. iLEAD inaandikwaga namna gani? Small I and then the rest is capital. Okay? iLEAD 10 graduation. And then say very nice things that you want to say. If you're on Twitter, our handle is at ELF Africa 1. 1 is the numeral. At ELF Africa 1. If you're on Facebook, we are at Emerging Leaders Foundation Africa. On Instagram, we are ELF Africa. Pale TikTok, we are ELF Africa. Pale LinkedIn, we are Emerging Leaders Foundation. Mumetuma hiyo kitu? Haya, kuna mtu huko kwa studio anaitwa Loch. Ataenda pale akiripost, akiretweet. Na nyinyi wote, all of a sudden, you become famous. Loch, karibu nikuite Loch. Vicky, what is your Twitter handle?
At V Ambuso.
At V Ambuso. Tag V Ambuso. Kwa hiyo Twitter. Wale wako Twitter, tag at V Ambuso. Okay? Acho, what is your Twitter handle?
Oh, no wonder he's looking at me laughing because he doesn't know it. Acho, what's your handle?
At Gerald Acho 1. Tag at Gerald Acho 1. At Gerald Acho 1. Madam Catherine, uko TikTok? Yo, you guys, do that thing.
My Lord.
Do that thing, okay? Uko pale Twitter? Aha. What is your handle? At?
My Lord. I wonder.
Take it again. At Catherine Musala. Tag at Catherine Musala. Musakali arma Musaka. Yes, at Catherine Musaka. Tag yeye pale Twitter. Aya, mumesha tag, eh? Aya. Kama tumetag, we are ready for the next item?
Yes, we are.
Yes.
We shall begin with welcome remarks. We shall begin with the anthem. Sorry about that. The Kenyan national anthem.
And then the East African anthem. So again, for those who are able to, please, shall we be upstanding? Our friends in studio will play for...
Umo umoja wetu ni nguzo yetu, idumu jumuiya yetu.
Thank you very much, please. Hao jamaa wanapenda hiyo anthem. Ndio kwa sababu tukiitisha songs, DJ hao wakutupea wimbo yao, inakaa zao ni anthems. But nonetheless, thank you very much. So Vicky, we can bring up who's next.
Yes. Next, we're going to be hearing the welcome remarks from our Director of Strategic Initiatives and Partnerships at ELF Africa. Her name is Stella Nderitu. She is a powerhouse. She is a leader, just like you here. And it would be an awesome opportunity to hear from you. So welcome, Stella.
Thank you. Thank you, Vicky and Sakwa. Hi, everyone. Hello. Good morning. How are you feeling, ladies and gentlemen? Yeah, happy, excited, charged? Yeah, I'm also happy. And before I even start what I would like to say, I want to say that I feel this is it's a moment of reckoning, because it's been a journey, not only for Emerging Leaders Foundation, but also for this particular program, which was the first program ever for us to ever run. So because you're part of this, and I see so many people also representing government, our alumni, our staff members, different people in the sector, it's really a great moment. And so officially, let me begin my opening remarks. Our chief guest, Madam Catherine Musakali, our board member, Madam Penina Machoka, our VVVIPs, our fellows who graduate today, our alumni members represented here today as well, my colleagues, ELF Africa staff, and even friends of ELF. I see Mr. Moses Kofi from Ghana joining us today. And then we have everybody who actually supports all the work that we do. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. 10 years ago, we graduated the first class of the iLEAD Fellowship. And the person standing in front of you today was a part of that class. I think today is a very special day, because we are not only graduating this class, but we are also marching to speak and call out violence against women. And so for me, when I look at you guys, all of you, all these very, very glowing faces, I think I see different things, and I'll just share my reflections that I had this morning. And it's about what the future and the present look like. And I really want to talk about the future. I know we are the present leaders, but I really want to talk about the future. Because I've interacted with you and I've seen what you're doing, especially in line with the Sustainable Development Goals. And I really want to talk about what that is about. This morning when I hugged my colleagues and they saw my t-shirt, which is actually about the protest that we have today, something occurred to me in my mind that the future is not about being in one place. The future is about different places, and it's about having leaders everywhere. And so we need leaders in the boardroom, and I'm happy that Madam Catherine is here, who leads the Women on Boards Network. We will need leaders in class and lecture rooms. We will need leaders in business, in advocacy, in protests like I'm joining this morning, in courtrooms and parliament. And in all these places where we need leaders, we don't need to divide, we don't need to compare, we don't need to go for each other because people are not represented in different spaces. What we need to do is to represent each other in all these spaces. And so because I know all of us are doing different things, the only one thing I would like to say is take the charge, iLEAD fellows. Represent each other in different spaces. And I know today you're not able to join the protest, but you're here and you finished and you did something about your leadership journey. So shine here, be your best here, be the leader here, and the world will be a better place. And with those short remarks on behalf of our executive director, I wish to declare this ceremony open, and I wish you the very, very best. Congratulations, iLEAD class of 2024. At this point, I will welcome my colleague, Mr. Acho Gerald, our Director of Programs, to talk a bit about what we are doing with the iLEAD Fellowship. Karibu Acho. Please help me welcome Acho with a good round of applause.
The champion, the lion is here. Zabu, zabu, enimba,
Good morning, everyone. Yeah, I think they mistook me for ID. Yeah, so all protocols observed, as my colleague Stella had already mentioned. We are very privileged to be here in front of all of you. You've taken your leadership journey, and I just have a few reflections to make. Permit me, I am a Christian, so permit me use some examples that I know best. I lead, right? We are supposed to lead. We are supposed to go out there and be leaders, right? If we look at the Bible, most of the people who led were not our natural common leaders. Look at someone like Simon Peter. That guy was a fisherman. Right? But Jesus called him. And then we spend our time in almost 4 Gospels reading about the fisherman and what he ended up doing. That is how leadership starts. In the book of Samuel, when when God spoke to Samuel to go to the house of Jesse and select one of his sons to be the king. When Samuel went, in the eyes of a man like you and me, he saw the tall son. Yeah, this one. They said, no, it's not this one. The next one is this one. No, it's not this one. There was like, almost all the sons are here. Which one are you talking with? Then the father said, yeah, there is one boy. Where is he? He's looking after the herds. We all know how that story ended, right? So you are starting your journey today. And we as ELF, we are very privileged and grateful that you chose this program to be able to discover self, who you are, so that you can be able to interact and lead others. One of my favorite philosophers, Socrates, said, an unexamined life is not worth living, which means we have to live a life that is we've examined, we understand who we are as leaders, we know what our pain points are, so that when we are leading the people under us, we are able to guide them, we are able to support them. And I think that is basically what this program is trying to do. At ELF Africa, our vision is to be able to train a critical mass of leaders, as my colleague Stella said, to be all over in the different sectors. Some of you are seated here. I read your bios. I was like, wow. Like the work you are doing is remarkable. And we are so privileged that we are going to contribute and going to be part of that work you are doing to support you in any way possible. And that is our commitment to you. Our continent today is at a juncture where we need leaders. We don't need people who want to be leaders. We need leaders. Wanting to be a leader doesn't mean you are a leader, right? Leadership is not an end in itself. It's a means to an end, and that end is service. So if we want to be leaders, for the sake of being leaders, to be there for people to look up to us, for them to call you sir every morning, support the right hand, the left hand on the right to greet you, bring you coffee in the office, then we've lost the purpose, right? So at the very early stages of our careers, of our different community-based organizations that we are running, at everything, if there is one thing the iLEAD program has focused on, has been leadership as service. Leadership as service to the communities we work with, to the people we work with, to our families, and to our friends. we need to change the trajectory as Africans. When you go to Europe, for example, it's easy for you to enter the train with a prime minister of a country, right? In Kenya, an MCA, you cannot even drink chai with him, right? So we need to change. How then do we able to conceptualize leadership as not an opportunity for us to be called meshimiwas? In short, even some people here would prefer to be called meshimiwa, right? But an opportunity for us to actually address the needs of the communities we are working with. And a good example, I'll talk about Emerging Leaders Foundation. We are 11 years, now we are approaching 12 years old. And I wasn't there, so I wasn't there, I just came when the organization was already 10 years. But then if you look at the journey, the resilience of Karen Wakoli maintaining and focusing on the vision of bringing ethical and values-based leaders in all the different sectors in which we work. And 12 years down the line, we can talk about our ELF journey with the different milestones we've had and with the different opportunities our fellows have been exposed to and the work they are currently doing. I feel as an organization or as an individual, we are going to fail or we will be disappointed if 5-6 years from now, some of you are in parliament, right? Women are being thrown off the building. Nobody is talking about it, right? Money is being stolen. Nobody is talking about it. The African Continental Free Trade Area, we are not so interested because we see it as a threat to our individuality. I think as an organization we will be disappointed. But what will make us proud as ELF is you guys are basically the flag bearers of ELF as you are leaving this program. It is not me as Acho Gerard to go out there and start saying ELF does this and that, but through your actions, right? So I still go back to the Bible. Forgive me. They say, by their fruits we shall do what? We shall know them, right? You cannot lie to people for too long. We live in a world where when someone speaks, you just know if they are lying or saying the truth. As we congratulate you today, after you're dedicating the time and sacrificing your time to be in this program, we call on you to go out and bear fruits. Not fruits that are like the sour mangoes, no. Bear fruits that will benefit you as an individual, but most importantly, that will benefit the people under your constituency. I think that is our legacy as an organization. As ELF, we commit today under our alumni engagement program to support you in any way for you to be able to actualize your potentials as good leaders. We might not have the skills to give you what you want at any certain time, but we have been fortunate to be blessed with people who are specialized in different areas and who are always ready to listen and to help and support. What is the worst thing that can happen, right? The worst thing that can happen is you ask and it is refused or rejected. But it's important to ask because you never know, right? I was listening the other day, where was I? And someone was talking about, it was in our office. We'd have reflections in the morning. And one of the reflections from one of our colleagues was around starting something, right? Not being scared to start. Because if you are to start something, it will fail, yes, but at least you know in your mind you did what? You tried. But at the same time, there is a possibility of succeeding. The disaster is in fear and not even starting at all. So basically, you don't even know if it would have succeeded or not. So my encouragement to you is go out there and be leaders. Be a role model to other young people. For the young men, being beating up women or showing that you are strong is not actually why you are a man. Don't go around quoting the Bible that Bible said the man is the head of the family. Right? Yes, the Bible said that. The head of the family also, you have to have the vision for the family. So if you cannot lead, what happened? Right? There will be resistance. So we need to be able to look at issues in our society, especially as leaders where we are sitting, and take a stand. What is happening currently in Kenya is not about men or women. It's about our common humanity. And that needs to come out clear. And as leaders, we need to articulate that and stand by it. So congratulations to all of you. This is not my day, it's your day. We are here to celebrate with you. And we continue to commit to support you in any way. Go out there and be the ambassadors of iLEAD to your community, to your fellows, and to everyone you meet. Talk about the program. This year, we are going to open the program to the whole continent and have a virtual option to the program. Because we believe that to be able to reach the critical mass we are looking for, it can't be restricted anymore to 20, 30 fellows. We want to have as many young people talking about these critical issues in their countries, in their constituencies, and in their families. So asanteni sana, and God bless you.
Acho hasn't sat down yet. Let's keep clapping for him. Thank you, Bwana Acho, for that inspiring word from you. I think we've all been challenged, right? And as we are thinking about what Acho has spoken to us about this morning, there is a documentary that our team up there is going to be playing. And I've not seen the documentary myself, but I'm quite excited to see what is in it and to see the journey that this team has taken so far. Okay? And as we watch the documentary, I want you to also take a step back and think from your individual perspective. Think about your leadership journey. Think about how far you have come and where you want to take yourself, to take your family, to take your community. So, karibu sana. May you enjoy the documentary. Comes.
Ladies and gentlemen, do you know that if you are a change agent, one of the things that people are looking at you is the consistency that within which you speak the same language?
How do you come to decisions? And there are those who use their heart and there are those who use their head. In this preference position, it talks about feelings and thinking. Think of it broadly that there are those who think about the impact of the decision and there are those who say, what does the law say?
For some of us, this is healing. That as we share our stories, our dots connecting, failure, success, that this will actually be a moment of owning our stories. It will be a moment of beginning to heal, beginning to realize that, oh, I matter and I have a voice.
iLEAD Fellowship is ELF Africa's flagship program targeting young change makers in Kenya and abroad between the ages of 18 to 35. And this program works with young people who have founded various initiatives. They have identified a need in their communities or spheres of influence, and they have gone ahead to start initiatives that will work with the community to bring solutions to it. So basically, the iLEAD Fellowship empowers and nurtures these young people to get to understand themselves better through self-awareness training, understand their leadership capabilities, and get to understand that leadership starts from within. You need to learn to lead self before you lead others, and through governance and civic engagement training, they get to understand why they need to actively take part in leadership and governance processes in Kenya.
First of all, I want to say it is a big opportunity. I've been fully sponsored by iLEAD, and I'm very humbled and proud to say that. Professionally, the experience I've gained so far with the coaches and mentors is fantastic. And I know through it I'm going to gain a lot of mileage as a director, because I've learned how to communicate with people, I've learned how to be empathetic, I've learned how to connect my dots. These are the things I've never had in my life, but through iLEAD, I can say so far so good.
iLEAD has come to a point where I really needed it in terms of realizing who I am, what values do I advocate for, which weaknesses do I have, which gaps do I have in leadership, just identifying that, and how do I work on the gaps that I have. I've managed to understand who I am as a person. In just understanding who I am, it means I can also understand the people that I work with. So I would say LF is really skill equipping in terms of holistic approach. The psychological aspect, what is your emotional intelligence, the physical aspect, are you looking on yourself, are you looking at your health, how are you taking care of yourself even before you take care of someone else, and also the economic aspect, how do I better myself and also better other people who I'm working with.
The key lesson is to be aware not only of ourselves but of our environment, to be able to understand that we are all different but uniquely gifted in that we all can positively contribute not only to knowledge but also to action that we take up.
Through the programs that I've been participating, issues of mental health and also value-based education, we learn about empathy, but again, it is not in details to understand what levels of empathy do we have, and also not only the levels, but to understand people deeper. For me, what I'm taking home is that as a leader, empathy is what is going to enable me to relate best with the people that I'm going to lead. But not only that, even the people who are going to lead me, I'll be able to understand them better, from what point of view and from what perspective are they making their decisions.
And understanding disability comes in two perspectives, where me as a person with disabilities, I also need to understand my environment, my condition, the challenges that I face, the solutions to my challenges. And again, the other perspective is where the other person, who is the public, who needs to understand my challenges too as a person with disabilities. So my highlight is there is a need for more enlightenment, both to people with disabilities and the public, on sensitization of the importance of disability and understanding disability more.
The speakers we have here interact with you, engage with you. They're very friendly. You feel like you're almost having a conversation with a peer or with a friend. It's not necessarily that you're talking to somebody who's so above you, and that makes the session more enjoyable, more interactive, more educative, and you're even more receptive to what the person is saying to you.
So I had the privilege of having a session with the most beautiful team of people. They are the most participatory, and they're actually some of the greatest minds seated in one room. Our session was more or less around readiness into the marketplace. We have great minds, but are they ready? More or less around preparation into corporate discussions, boardroom type settings, and how then to package yourselves before and after such settings.
The fellowship program is enjoyable. I'll be able to say that I would want to be here every other time, and when we are called upon, I would want to be the first one here because of the thirst for knowledge. I think that the ELF team are doing a good job, and will be able to recommend that this is an opportunity that other young emerging leaders should be able to look forward to when there is opportunities of this nature, because personally I have been capacity built at individual level, and this has also impacted my way of operations within my workplace and the people that work under me. And I think I now have a better team than I probably had before joining this program.
I'm really happy to have been part of this process since the beginning. I'm happy with the growth. I'm happy to see the progress and also the maturity of the program. I'm working with different people and they are really, the coordination has been quite effective. So ELF, commendable job.
The iLEAD fellowship has enabled me to look at myself differently, be able to realize and see gaps within the community, and I'm now ready to go out there and shine and fill those gaps through the various programs and the knowledge that I've gained from the iLEAD fellowship. So I really thank iLEAD fellowship because my community is going to benefit from this, and the young people are going to benefit from this. Women from within my community are going to benefit from this.
One of our core values is servant leadership. And in all the programs we run, we ensure that we inculcate the spirit of servant leaders in all our fellows. So through community service, young people are able to experience a different life from what they are used to go to the areas that are not ventured in, to get to understand inequalities, but the privilege they live in. So it is only when I came here today that I got to realize that I take for granted being able to read. Today, iLEAD Fellows Cohort 10 were carrying out their community service at the Thika High School for the Visually Impaired. This is a special group of young people, and I love that the cohort decided to pick one unique activity for their community service. They came here for a reconnaissance visit, and together with the teachers and the school principal, they got to understand the deepest needs at the school. And I thank God that with their fundraising and resource mobilization, they were able to come up with very important, crucial things that especially the candidates of the Thika High School for the Visually Impaired will use. Like you can see what I'm carrying from the Africa Braille Center is a set book that is mandatory for this year. So for the candidates, they are so excited, because initially they could only hear someone read out the set books to them.
We wanted to do a unique project that could do a little bit of service to ensure disability inclusion. So the project was able to facilitate the school with 40 books of set books of different languages, Kiswahili and English.
What you brought to us is quite different, exciting, because these are the materials we use in class. They benefit the learners. And that is why we are so excited and saying that, you know, the gifts are different from what we've been receiving over the years.
This project has helped our cohort to know that to be able to do a meaningful or an impactful project in the society, you have to go to the ground, speak to the right people. It also helps build networks and connections. We now have a very strong partnership with Thika High School for the Blind, the principal, the teachers, even the students. You see, so through this community service, we are able to know who can we approach, how can we approach them, what is the need of the community, and how do we address it.
Good job, my people. Good job. Appreciate yourself once more. That was an awesome job you guys did. I am very delighted by what I have seen. I don't know about you, because I believe that community service should not be hit and run, but should be continuous and sustainable. And I heard someone saying, I'm looking for that face that was speaking there, that say you have a partner in the Thika High School for the Visually Impaired. Nimekuona. So I'm waiting to see you guys, even as you join the alumni together as a cohort, to champion the rest of the alumni to continue working with that school and to do a lot more work. All right, congratulations, and that is very, very, very good. We are proud of you for leveling your service to the community in that sense. Now, we have a quick break of about 20 minutes break. There is tea right outside. When you are walking in towards your right, there were tents hapo, right? Ukienda hapo utapata mmeandaliwa meza, ni maadui tu ndio hawakukuja, lakini meza mmeandaliwa. Sawa. So, please, check your time. Ni saa ngapi kwa saa yako? 10:04. 10:01. Umesikia 10, umesikia 10:01, umesikia 10:04. Hiyo yote ni East African time. Mama kuna mtu wako West African time. All right, I will use mine. Let's see. Mine says 10:01. So 10:01 it is. We walk out. You can use either of the exits. Go enjoy your cup of tea. And then we come back at 10:20. But if you're here at 10:15, I mean, why not? Sindio? Why not? Gives you more opportunities to begin discussing when are we going back to Thika? Or what more can we do for Thika High School? Siko namna hiyo Mheshimiwa Maina. Aya, sawa, please proceed for tea. See you at 10:20.
The session was on emotional intelligence to help the participants to understand their emotions and how to deal with them, because once they understand the emotion, they can be able to regulate and manage themselves, even as they help others.
It is something that a leader must have, because it helps one to reflect every time. Before even you make a decision, it is good that you internalize what you are thinking about, so that whatever you say, it is going to impact the other people positively.
Unless somebody understands themselves, they cannot be able to read others well. So it's only by understanding that they're able to manage, regulate, and be able to read others, because you read first yourself so that you can be able to help others become readers and follow you.
The facilitator talked about feedback. As a leader, I think personally I've failed to give feedback of what I've done, and I've failed to receive feedback from my people. So that skill is going to change me, so that I should anticipate both positive and negative feedback from what I've done. It's a personal opinion, but it's there to change you to the better. It's there to make correction. So, and accept that maybe you failed.
I was able to know my weakness, my strengths, so that way I will be able to also be mindful of my followers, my colleagues we are working together, so that we can create an environment that is friendly and very positive to everybody for us to achieve our goal.
The idea of you building your identity as a product is just not in the air in terms of hearsay, but intentionally also imagining which stakeholders should I follow up.
In terms of where I sit, definitely personal branding in this modern age gives us the control and options of not only showcasing whom we are, showcasing the bits of impact that we're creating, but it also gives us a chance of just showing the world who we are, what we want it to be, and how better we can make it a better place.
I've learned that personal branding is just everything about yourself. And it encompasses a lot. It's not only how you choose to show up maybe in a corporate meeting or in work, because maybe I think we've come to think that the notion that personal branding is when you're in important meetings, when you need something, when you need to show people you can do it. But even at home, even when you're interacting with people who can't offer you anything, there should be this thing that they know about you, that they know you're like this. Yes, I think that's something I've learned today.
Branding is both at individual perspective, but also there's also an organizational perspective. And it's important that institutions and organizations and leaders understand that they should be able to give employees and those who work with them opportunities to be able to self-brand as well as those self-brands contribute to the larger picture of the organization. And also organizations should also have a culture of branding that basically also communicates to their clientele about the positioning of those particular organizations.
So today we had a very interesting, intriguing and inspiring session. We were talking about sexual reproductive health and rights. We do realize that many times we do not talk openly about sex. So we had a very interesting conversation with 28 leaders from different counties, basically just trying to understand the importance of sexual reproductive health. We also had a conversation around, safe sex and how best people can be able to practice safe sex. My key highlights were, number one, sexual reproductive health and rights is important because it empowers people to have knowledge and information, which in turn makes them to make informed choices and decisions. Apart from that, they are able to, continue empowering their communities. We also had a conversation around where should our values begin as leaders, and how best can we be able to use our power. It was really inspiring to hear from the leaders about how sexual reproductive health and rights continue to be an important conversation with our government officials and generally with the communities that they continue to work with. It was also empowering and inspiring to just take note that a man pointed out that, we need to really check ourselves out and check our bodies and love us, because if we are not confident about who we are as individuals, then it becomes very hard for even others to love and appreciate us.
Ladies and gentlemen, do you know that if you are a change agent, one of the things that people are looking at you is the consistency that within which you speak the same language? If you need to persuade me, can I be able to walk through your journey?
It's a lovely thing to have the youth to be trained on public speaking, because one of the communication skills that we do have, when you talk about the aspect of communication skill as a life skill, then you realize that there's a gap where they think, or the youth think that they know what they're saying, but they don't entirely know how to articulate it. So how do you speak when your intention is to do it to a large audience of group, but also intend to persuade them to align their thoughts, their ideologies, and even their actions to that which you say?
Public speaking, what I've gained from that is that nobody has it figured out. I tend to struggle with public speaking. I think the worst. Most times we tend to focus on the delivery and we forget content and the structure. And so you find everything is everywhere and you think, wow, done a good job.
For the young youth, especially the ones that we are having in our public service spaces, it's very important for them to learn that communication is one way of interacting with the people that you're serving. Because there's no way that you're going to serve people within the spaces that you are in without talking to them. And it's not just talking, because there are moments there we're just talking, but there's talking so that then you're convinced, there's talking that you influence, but then there's talking that you talk to be understood. Is it possible that what you say is something that you have articulated well enough? But also beyond that articulation, is that something that you feel you've given the best of service delivery? Sometimes you get to do that, and it has to be done by speaking out your mind.
It will heavily improve me and my work and what I'm doing, because then it will allow me to show up in spaces I think I can't go and speak into. It also helps me to express my ideas, to remove them from my mind and to words, in that I don't expect people to get into my mind and expect what it is that I'm saying, or they implement it. So I think it would help a lot, because in general I'll be able to communicate better and to ensure that I'm getting closer to achieving the things that I want.
The session was on emotional intelligence to help the participants to understand their emotions and how to deal with them, because once they understand the emotion, they can be able to regulate and manage themselves, even as they help others.
It is something that a leader must have, because it helps one to reflect every time. Before even you make a decision, it is good that you internalize what you are thinking about, so that whatever you say, it is going to impact the other people positively.
Unless somebody understands themselves, they cannot be able to read others well. So it's only by understanding that they are able to manage, regulate, and be able to read others, because you read first yourself so that you can be able to help others become readers and follow you.
The facilitator talked about feedback. As a leader, I think personally I've failed to give feedback of what I've done, and I've failed to receive feedback from my people. So that skill is going to change me, so that I should anticipate both positive and negative feedback from what I've done. It's a personal opinion, but it's there to change you to the better. It's there to make correction. So, and accept that maybe you failed.
I was able to know my weakness, my strengths, so that way I will be able to also be mindful of my followers, my colleagues we are working together, so that we can create an environment that is friendly and very positive to everybody for us to achieve our goal.
The idea of you building your identity as a product is just not in the air in terms of hearsay, but intentionally also imagining which stakeholders should I follow up. In terms of where I sit, definitely personal branding in this modern age gives us the control and options of not only showcasing whom we are, showcasing the bits of impact that we're creating, but it also gives us a chance of just showing the world who we are, what we want it to be, and how better we can make it a better place.
I've learned that personal branding is just everything about yourself. And it encompasses a lot. It's not only how you choose to show up maybe in a corporate meeting or in work, because maybe I think we've come to think that the notion that personal branding is when you're in important meetings, when you need something, when you need to show people you can do it. But even at home, even when you're interacting with people who can't offer you anything, there should be this thing that they know about you, that they know you're like this. Yes, I think that's something I've learned today.
Branding is both at individual perspective, but also there's also an organizational perspective. And it's important that institutions and organizations and leaders understand that they should be able to give employees and those who work with them opportunities to be able to self-brand, as well as those self-brands contribute to the larger picture of the organization. And also organizations should also have a culture of branding that basically also communicates to their clientele about the positioning of those particular organizations.
So today we had a very interesting, intriguing and inspiring session. We were talking about sexual reproductive health and rights. We do realize that many times we do not talk openly about sex. So we had a very interesting conversation with 28 leaders from different counties, basically just trying to understand the importance of sexual reproductive health. We also had a conversation around, safe sex and how best people can be able to practice safe sex. My key highlights were, number one, sexual reproductive health and rights is important because it empowers people to have knowledge and information, which in turn makes them to make informed choices and decisions. Apart from that, they are able to, continue empowering their communities. We also had a conversation around where should our values begin as leaders, and how best can we be able to use our power. It was really inspiring to hear from the leaders about how sexual reproductive health and rights continue to be an important conversation with our government officials and generally with the communities that they continue to work with. It was also empowering and inspiring to just take note that a man pointed out that, we need to really check ourselves out and check our bodies and love us, because if we are not confident about who we are as individuals, then it becomes very hard for even others to love and appreciate us.
Ladies and gentlemen, do you know that if you are a change agent, one of the things that people are looking at you is the consistency that within which you speak the same language? If you need to persuade me, can I be able to walk through your journey?
It's a lovely thing to have the youth to be trained on public speaking, because one of the communication skills that we do have, when you talk about the aspect of communication skill as a life skill, then you realize that there's a gap where they think, or the youth think that they know what they're saying, but they don't entirely know how to articulate it. So how do you speak when your intention is to do it to a large audience of group, but also intend to persuade them to align their thoughts, their ideologies, and even their actions to that which you say?
Public speaking, what I've gained from that is that nobody has it figured out. I tend to struggle with public speaking. I think the worst. Most times we tend to focus on the delivery and we forget content and the structure. And so you find everything is everywhere and you think, wow, done a good job.
For the young youth, especially the ones that we are having in our public service spaces, it's very important for them to learn that communication is one way of interacting with the people that you're serving. Because there's no way that you're going to serve people within the spaces that you are in without talking to them. And it's not just talking, because there are moments there that we're just talking, but there's talking so that then you're convinced, there's talking that you influence, but then there's talking that you talk to be understood. Is it possible that what you say is something that you have articulated well enough? But also beyond that articulation, is that something that you feel you've given the best of service delivery? Sometimes you get to do that, and it has to be done by speaking out your mind.
It will heavily improve me and my work and what I'm doing, because then it will allow me to show up in spaces that I think I can't go and speak into. It also helps me to express my ideas, to remove them from my mind and to words, in that I don't expect people to get into my mind and expect what it is that I'm saying, or they implement it. So I think it would help a lot, because in general I'll be able to communicate better and to ensure that I'm getting closer to achieving the things that I want.
The session was on emotional intelligence to help the participants to understand their emotions and how to deal with them, because once they understand the emotion, they can be able to regulate and manage themselves, even as they help others.
It is something that a leader must have, because it helps one to reflect every time. Before even you make a decision, it is good that you internalize what you are thinking about, so that whatever you say, it is going to impact the other people positively.
Unless somebody understands themselves, they cannot be able to read others well. So it's only by understanding that they are able to manage, regulate, and be able to read others, because you read first yourself so that you can be able to help others become readers and follow you.
The facilitator talked about feedback. As a leader, I think personally I've failed to give feedback of what I've done, and I've failed to receive feedback from my people. So that skill is going to change me, so that I should anticipate both positive and negative feedback from what I've done. It's a personal opinion, but it's there to change you to the better. It's there to make correction. So, and accept that maybe you failed.
I was able to know my weakness, my strengths, so that way I will be able to also be mindful of my followers, my colleagues we are working together, so that we can create an environment that is friendly and very positive to everybody for us to achieve our goal.
The idea of you building your identity as a product is just not in the air in terms of hearsay, but intentionally also imagining which stakeholders should I follow up.
In terms of where I sit, definitely personal branding in this modern age gives us the control and options of not only showcasing whom we are, showcasing the bits of impact that we're creating, but it also gives us a chance of just showing the world who we are, what we want it to be, and how better we can make it a better place.
I've learned that personal branding is just everything about yourself. And it encompasses a lot. It's not only how you choose to show up maybe in a corporate meeting or in work, because maybe I think we've come to think that the notion that personal branding is when you're in important meetings, when you need something, when you need to show people you can do it. But even at home, even when you're interacting with people who can't offer you anything, there should be this thing that they know about you, that they know you're like this. Yes, I think that's something I've learned today.
Branding is both at individual perspective, but also there's also an organizational perspective. And it's important that institutions and organizations and leaders understand that they should be able to give employees and those who work with them opportunities to be able to self-brand, as well as those self-brands contribute to the larger picture of the organization. And also organizations should also have a culture of branding that basically also communicates to their clientele about the positioning of those particular organizations.
So today we had a very interesting, intriguing and inspiring session. We were talking about sexual reproductive health and rights. We do realize that many times we do not talk openly about sex. So we had a very interesting conversation with 28 leaders from different counties, basically just trying to understand the importance of sexual reproductive health. We also had a conversation around, safe sex and how best people can be able to practice safe sex. My key highlights were, number one, sexual reproductive health and rights is important because it empowers people to have knowledge and information, which in turn makes them to make informed choices and decisions. Apart from that, they are able to, continue empowering their communities. We also had a conversation around where should our values begin as leaders, and how best can we be able to use our power. It was really inspiring to hear from the leaders about how sexual reproductive health and rights continue to be an important conversation with our government officials and generally with the communities that they continue to work with. It was also empowering and inspiring to just take note that a man pointed out that, we need to really check ourselves out and check our bodies and love us because if we are not confident about who we are as individuals, then it becomes very hard for even others to love and appreciate us.
Ladies and gentlemen, do you know that if you are a change agent, one of the things that people are looking at you is the consistency that within which you speak the same language. If you need to persuade me, can I be able to walk through your journey?
It's a lovely thing to have the youth to be trained on public speaking, because one of the communication skills that we do have, when you talk about the aspect of communication skill as a life skill, then you realize that there's a gap where they think, or the youth think that they know what they're saying, but they don't entirely know how to articulate it. So how do you speak when your intention is to do it to a large audience of group, but also intend to persuade them to align their thoughts, their ideologies, and even their actions to that which you say?
Public speaking, what I've gained from that is that nobody has it figured out. I tend to struggle with public speaking. I think the worst. Most times we tend to focus on the delivery and we forget content and the structure. And so you find everything is everywhere and you think, wow, done a good job.
For the young youth, especially the ones that we are having in our public service spaces, it's very important for them to learn that communication is one way of interacting with the people that you're serving. Because there's no way that you're going to serve people within the spaces that you are in without talking to them. And it's not just talking, because there are moments that we're just talking, but there's talking so that then you're convinced, there's talking that you influence, but then there's talking that you talk to be understood. Is it possible that what you say is something that you have articulated well enough? But also beyond that articulation, is that something that you feel you've given the best of service delivery? Sometimes you get to do that, and it has to be done by speaking out your mind.
It will heavily improve me and my work and what I'm doing, because then it will allow me to show up in spaces I think I can't go and speak into. It also helps me to express my ideas, to remove them from my mind and to words, in that I don't expect people to get into my mind and expect what it is that I'm saying, or they implement it. So I think it would help a lot, because in general I'll be able to communicate better and to ensure that I'm getting closer to achieving the things that I want.
The session was on emotional intelligence, to help the participants to understand their emotions and how to deal with them, because once they understand the emotion, they can be able to regulate and manage themselves, even as they help others.
It is something that a leader must have, because it helps one to reflect every time. Before even you make a decision, it is good that you internalize what you are thinking about, so that whatever you say, it is going to impact the other people positively.
Unless somebody understands themselves, they cannot be able to read others well. So it's only by understanding that they're able to manage, regulate, and be able to read others, because you read first yourself so that you can be able to help others become readers and follow you.
The facilitator talked about feedback. As a leader, I think personally I've failed to give feedback of what I've done, and I've failed to receive feedback from my people. So
were the snacks good? Did you like them? The people are looking at me with blank faces, so I'm a bit worried. Did you enjoy the tea? Do you feel a bit more satisfied? Ready for the program to go on? Absolutely. Before we continue the program, if you do not know somebody, if you've never met somebody before in this room, I want you to deliberately look for them right now and just say your name. That's all. Or if you've not talked to them for a very long time, just deliberately look for them. One or two. Just say hi. Because I don't think over break time we did that enough. I didn't see too many people mingling. Mlikuwa mmejifungia, you're a bit closed off. You know everyone? Okay, you've introduced yourself? Do they know you? Are you sure you know each other? Okay, wonderful. Great. So I want over lunchtime, I want you to take a step further. Inquire, what do you do? You know, where do you live? You know, this is the way we network during events. You never know who holds the key to the next step. To the next space, to the next step. So let's be intentional about that. So right now, we're going to enter our speeches. And the first individual who's going to be speaking to us today is a lady named Gladys Nzisa. How many are familiar with Gladys Nzisa? Okay, there are a few. You have a bit of fans here and there. So Gladys Nzisa is a former fellow, is an iLEAD alumni cohort 9. So she was a fellow in the iLEAD cohort 9. She runs an organization called, she is part of an organization called the Youth Agenda, pardon me, which is focused on economic empowerment. She's also an entrepreneur, and she loves to have fun. So we hope we'll have fun during your speech. Karibu sana Gladys Nzisa. Let's give her a hand. Give her a hand, guys. Sir, you have 7 minutes. Karibu. Okay, let's practice. Let's form our hands. 3 factorial plus, then you tell your neighbor, congratulations, okay? Okay. 1, 2, 3, let's go. Again. Nice. How do you feel? Okay, let's just have a seat. Thank you so much. My name, I am Gladys Nzisa Mudhama. I like introducing myself as Nzisa, my second name. But I know you guys, when you're pronouncing Nzisa, you might bite your tongue or something. I am a young individual. I'm so excited to be here. And I don't know, like, being an alumni, I'm here just to talk about how iLEAD has impacted me as an individual. I am so happy and honored, actually, because the person I am today, you see me speaking here very confidently, asking you guys to stand. It's before I wasn't like this. It's because of this program, honestly. It has impacted me as an individual in my life, personal life, in my work life, in my relations, and in everything that I do. Because the programs, the modules that you've gone through, I think we can all testify that the modules that you've gone through have impacted us in the different areas. It could have been therapy. You came here for therapy. Maybe you were healed somehow, right? Well, for me, my story is, I came in iLEAD as I was a student. One, sometimes when you're a student and in your early 20s, you actually don't know what you want. You're actually confused. Personally, I was confused. I was everywhere. I want to be this, I want to be this. And the self-awareness that I achieved from iLEAD, as you can see, I'm very confident. Cinder, very confident. The self-awareness I acquired from the program, the iLEAD program, I can testify. I am now an entrepreneur. I am a leader. And being a leader, I realized, okay, I can start something of my own. I'm an entrepreneur. I run a tours and travels company. And I actually started it last year. Because it's something, yeah, thank you. Thank you. It's something that I really wanted to do, but I didn't have, you know, you always have those imposter syndrome, that you don't know you need to do this, but somehow when you go through someone who is like taking you through something, you understand, okay, I have this ability. So this program, Leadership and Service, I know from here we have people who have their own initiatives, and being a leader is about serving people. You cannot serve someone if you're not aware of who you are. And I'm so sure from the modules that you've gone through, you've somehow understood who you are as a person. And this is the beginning, actually. After this, now that the real life begins, now you start practicing what you've been learning throughout. At some point, you might deviate from your goal, but just understand who you are and start, okay? Being here actually is just one step of you achieving what you've been wanting to do. Me, I am really happy to be an iLEAD alumni, and I can say the program has impacted me very, very much in my life. The last thing that I want to say before I sit down is, wherever you are, make a difference. Not for you, but for the generation to come. Be the trees that's important and people cannot do without. Wherever you are, impact people. Be the leader. Be a leader that not because of you want people to know you, you're not looking for something. Be someone that in the next generation people would remember you for what you did. Okay. Sawa sawa. When she said I am fun, I actually am fun. So so I actually need you guys to stand again for the last time before I go sit down. Then now I can go. Nisiwasumbue sana. Sindo? Okay. See, we are youthful. We are very youthful. Okay. We know head, shoulder, knees, and toes. I know that's simple. I want us to do it from the downwards to the head. It's legs. How do we start? The knees and toes. Now we start toes. Okay, let's do it. Please look at your neighbor if your neighbor is not doing that. Okay, we start from the toes. 1, 2, 3, go. Toes, knees, shoulders, head. Okay, let's just do it harmoniously. We do from down, then we start again from up, down. That's okay? Yeah. Twice. 1, 2, 3, let's go. I'm watching those who get from Wait. I need this to be a harmony. It has to sound well. Others shouldn't be at the head, others are at the toe. Right? Okay, let's start. 1, 2, 3. Uh-huh. Nice. Nice. Thank you so much. Thank you very much, Zisa. Next, we'll be hearing from Franklin Ojiambo. Franklin Ojiambo runs the Frankie's Foundation. It is an ICT-based foundation supporting young people to be able to have access to services that would upskill them. He has been running this initiative for 5 years. And, by the way, if you guys don't know, did you know that Franklin Ojiambo has received an award from the president himself? Did you know that? Now you know. He received a medal because of his philanthropic work and his fight for human rights. So karibu sana Bwana Ojiambo. Let's give him a hand.
Mwaka kufosi, yani take msitake mwaka mtanisha mosi. Joy. No.
All is good? On the time? Wow.
Check.
The people here
Check.
have really appreciated your work, and actually we are very thankful. It has been quite a journey that started, and here we are. So I also want to thank our two leaders. Cheboy and Josiah. They've done a good job to support us. They've been there. Wamekuwa wazazi wetu, wametulinda, wametupembeleza until tumefika hapa leo. So I want to take this opportunity to invite my vice president. We as cohort 10, we decided that hatutawaacha bure and we'll appreciate them. So we have a gift for Josiah and Cheboy, and as the vice president is coming, please, I want to welcome Josiah and Cheboy, where you are. As they come, let's clap for them. Yeah, hawa viongozi wawili unawaona wamefanya kazi njema sana. Wametulinda, wametulea, wamesimama na sisi kama emerging leaders cohort 10 tunasema asanti na tuko na zawadi yenu, karibuni. Tuwapige makofi tukawapatia. Asanteni sana. So on behalf of the team again, I want to say thank you so much, Emerging Leaders Foundation, for giving us this opportunity. This course was fully sponsored, and we were offered transport, breakfast, lunch, mentorship, and coaching. And I want to assure you that tukitoka hapa leo, we are not the same people who joined the class 6 months ago. God bless you so much. Na Mungu azidi kuwabariki. Thank you.
Umwaka ndo mwaka kufosi, anitake msitake umwaka mtanita bosi.
Thank you, Frankie. Thank you for leading your cohort powerfully. Thank you for taking your time. You know, it takes a lot of time and dedication to lead people, especially grown-ups. You know, it's very different when you're leading children. Children tend to follow what you tell them. But leading big people, it's not easy. People are busy, people are doing other things, people are running their own initiatives. So thank you for taking the time and the courage to also lead. And we wish you all the best as you move forward into your next step. Finally, I want us to invite Mr. Arnold Gekonge. Arnold Gekonge is the founder and executive director of Champions for SDG Youth. Yes, champion for SDGs Youth. He's been running this organization for the past 4 years within Nairobi and with impact in other counties. So karibu sana to the stage, Bwana Arnold Gekonge. Let's give him a hand clap. Your makofis are very brief.
Distinguished colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, all protocol observed, good morning. My name is Arnold Gekonge, and I lead the youth organization Champions for SDGs Youth. And today I'm so happy to witness the graduation of cohort 10 of the iLEAD program. I was there when the program was being inaugurated at the Sarova Stanley, and again I'm here and I've been able to see those faces, some of those faces who introduced themselves to me during that time. I've seen them here, and I hope no one dropped off on the way. Did all of you come all the way to the end? Wonderful. Let's clap for ourselves. Congratulations for making it this far. And I know now you are more empowered and equipped to make a difference in your communities. I know you're already familiar with the Sustainable Development Goals. They were mentioned earlier by our director, Stella. And or probably maybe if you don't know them, you're already working around them on the different thematic areas, but probably haven't aligned or gotten to know how they link with the work that your organization does. So at Champions for SDGs, we target young people with information on what the SDGs are and how they can contribute to the implementation and also the review. Now, many people usually ask, which particular SDG are you working on, or one or two goals that you specifically focus on? But if you ask me, I focus on all the goals. And I also try to look at how can young people be involved in the implementation and also in the review. Kenya has reviewed the progress on SDGs twice, in 2017 and in 2020. Again, we are going to do that this year. How many of you are aware of that? You see, George is aware of that. So this process is happening, and how comes we are not aware? And usually young people are involved in different initiatives that contribute to the goals. So this is where we come in, try to link us to the stakeholders who are carrying out the implementation. In this case, it's the State Department for Planning. And after the report is ready in the middle of the year, the Minister for the National Treasury and Planning is going to present that report on behalf of the country at the headquarters of the United Nations. But again, civil society has made a lot of strides as far as SDGs are concerned. And that is usually coordinated by the umbrella body, which is the SDGs Forum. And us being an active member of the forum, we've tried to champion how youth can actively engage. This led us to organizing an annual pre-conference to the main conference of Sustainable Development Goals that takes place every year in Kenya. How is iLEAD or iLEAD fellows who are graduating today related to that particular activity? In November, we extended an invitation to you colleagues at Emerging Leaders Foundation so that you can bring 5 iLEAD fellows to the pre-conference. And the objectives of the pre-conference were to share information on what the SDGs are for those who don't know, but then again, give the youth an opportunity to interact with other stakeholders who are implementing SDGs. And then lastly, to collect views on how young people would like to be engaged in the implementation and the review of the goals. Now, 5 fellows came together with Mr. Edward Kipkalia to the pre-conference. I'll use the last minute to give them 15 seconds each to mention something that they learned from the conference. So the views or the recommendations that were gathered during this activity that took place in November at the University of Nairobi, bringing together young people from 36 organizations and institutions. And these young people coming from 32 counties from across the country was able to put together key opportunities that young people have identified that we could recommend to the stakeholders at the main conference. And those key opportunities include youth come with a lot of creativity, and also if given the tools, they can actually create significant impact through the works that they continue to do with their organizations. And then they also gave recommendations on how they would wish to be engaged into the upcoming conferences and consistently input into the reports that our country produces as far as SDGs are concerned. So with your permission, moderator, I know you've come on stage. You will allow me to give just two fellows who came to the main conference to highlight something that stood out for them during the conference. George?
I request that we be very quick. There's somebody who we wanted to also speak, and he's about to leave for the airport. So please proceed, but quickly.
Thank you so much. I think I took away 2 main things. One, SDGs in Kiswahili. I didn't know that. I learned them that day. We need to learn them as Kenyans and as leaders interacting with community members. And 2, they were envisioned to be achieved by 2030, and 2030 is not so far away right now, right? So there's still much more work for us to do as leaders, and it also validates the work that we're doing as individuals. So thank you so much for having us there.
Let's clap for him.
Okay, to me, what I took home was the session was inclusivity. There was an interpreter for those people with hearing impaired. So as a person who is advocating for the rights of PWDs, most of them got the message home, including the people with disability, those with hearing impaired, and also learning SDGs in Kiswahili.
Let's clap for her. So just to conclude, it is important to live by the principle of leaving no one behind, because each and every stakeholder is important to ensure that the SDGs are implemented and at least we make significant progress before the deadline of 2030. I'll leave you with a quote from Simon Sinek, because we've all been speaking about leadership today. But there is one thing that I'd like us to remember. Leadership is not about being in charge. It is about taking care of those in your charge. Thank you.
Let's clap more for Gekonge. All right, so I know a number of you guys had seen me when we were launching the iLEAD, so I'll be working jointly again with Vicky. Now, there's somebody in the audience that, first of all, reminds me of Komla Dumor. When I heard him speak, I just thought of Komla. Kofi, welcome on stage. He was here. We couldn't let him go. I know he has a few words here and there. So whenever you see these guys with gray hair, never let them go. Let them say something. Kofi, welcome.
Thank you very much, Stephen Kamadi. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It is always such a pleasure for me to see young people. I believe in people. I love people. And I actually am very passionate about leadership and passionate about people development. And so for me, anytime I see that opportunity unfolding for people, I'm excited. Because you have no idea what is out there when you avail yourself and take advantage of opportunities like this. You have no idea. My time is short because unfortunately I need to go. My name is Moses Kofi. I'm the country director for Core Africa Ghana. And I'm a friend of ELF. We have many things in common, and so that's why I always find it fulfilling and exciting to be part of anything ELF does. The simple message I'll leave with you this morning as you graduate, and let me first say that congratulations. This is an important step to a long and fulfilling journey. And the message I'd like to leave with you, there's so many things one could say, is that do not take the opportunity to sit at the table as a right. You'll be making a mistake. You need to earn that place. And what you have done in the last few weeks in going through this program is helping you actually earn a seat at the table. Because at that seat, a lot will be expected of you. You're not just there to go argue with people and criticize them. You are there to offer value. And we need you at the table because the future is about you. And tomorrow cannot be planned without your involvement. If tomorrow is planned without your involvement, that tomorrow will not be relevant for you. You'll be lost in that space. That is why we need you at the table. You are really necessary at the table. But please don't take it as a right. I'm a young person, I need to be there. Nobody will listen to you, because when you get there, what value would you bring to that table? And so I want to wish you well. Anything and everything that I've gone through in the past few weeks, take them serious. You may not need them today or tomorrow at the meeting. You need them at another day. And they will come in handy, I can assure you. If I could live my life again, the kinds of things you're going through, I'd encourage it for people. That's what I'm doing right now with many young people elsewhere. And so, from me to you, congratulations, and make the best of what you have. God bless you.
Stay there, Moses. Just before you go.
All right.
Are you on TikTok? Let's start from there. Are you on TikTok?
The truth is,
yes.
I got on TikTok, and after 3 days, I went out of it.
All right.
I realized that it was taking so much time of
it's
my time.
It's
so what I do
yes.
is I have a lot of young people around me,
yes.
and what I think needs to go there, I make them do it.
All right.
Without being there myself.
Okay, on a much serious one, are you on LinkedIn?
Oh yeah.
All right.
Definitely.
What's the handle?
I got two. I think one is just Moses.Kofi, and one is Pajo.Kofi.
All right.
I have to.
You remember the face? Because I realize there's so many Kofi in Ghana.
Right.
So if you ever search for Moses Kofi, you meet so many Kofis there.
My Kofi is Cofie, and my Moses is Moses as in the Bible.
All right. Let's give another round of applause to Moses. So we have been sitting here listening to a lot of speeches, and we want to also share on social media what's going on here. But in the meantime, the DJ is going to entertain us just for some 4 minutes. You can dance, you can move your legs a little bit. Those who have two left feet, there are people who are good dancing and sitting, yeah? And then there are people who actually have the courage to stand up and actually do it because they are sure of what they're doing. iLEAD, I've seen you dance. I know you're a good one. Stephanie, you're one of the poor dancers I've seen around, but it's accepted. You know, you can't be good in all things. Yeah, personally, I'm a good dancer. So, who's the class president? Request one song that the DJ has to start with, and then he can mix it through and through. What is that song? Congratulations. It's a gospel song, right? So DJ, there's a song by the name Congratulations. It is there. So we start with that, and then you can give us more Conqueror the Lion and all. Let's go all out, you know. So guys, let's tweet about what is happening. Tell the world you are graduating, okay? Hey, hello. Let's tell the world that we are graduating, okay? This is a milestone. Search for Kofi in the meantime on LinkedIn. Send him the connection and move your legs, move your body, and let's dance. So, DJ, over to you for a few minutes, and then we come back to much more serious business. Thank you.
Congratulations. I have a message for you.
Ladies and gentlemen, do you know that if you are a change agent, one of the things that people are looking at you is the consistency that within which you speak the same language?
How do you come to decisions? And there are those who use their heart and there are those who use their head. In this preference position, it talks about feelings and thinking. Think of it broadly that there are those who think about the impact of the decision and there are those who say, what does the law say?
For some of us, this is healing. That as we share our stories, our dots connecting, failure, success, that this will actually be a moment of owning our stories. It will be a moment of beginning to heal, beginning to realize that, oh, I matter and I have a voice.
iLEAD Fellowship is ELF Africa's flagship program targeting young change makers in Kenya and abroad between the ages of 18 to 35. And this program works with young people who have founded various initiatives. They have identified a need in their communities or spheres of influence, and they have gone ahead to start initiatives that will work with the community to bring solutions to it. So basically, the iLEAD Fellowship empowers and nurtures these young people to get to understand themselves better through self-awareness training, understand their leadership capabilities, and get to understand that leadership starts from within. You need to learn to lead self before you lead others, and through governance and civic engagement training, they get to understand why they need to actively take part in leadership and governance processes in Kenya.
First of all, I want to say it is a big opportunity. I've been fully sponsored by iLEAD, and I'm very humbled and proud to say that. Professionally, the experience I've gained so far with the coaches and mentors is fantastic. And I know through it I'm going to gain a lot of mileage as a director, because I've learned how to communicate with people, I've learned how to be empathetic, I've learned how to connect my dots. These are the things I've never had in my life, but through iLEAD, I can say so far so good.
iLEAD has come to a point where I really needed it in terms of realizing who I am, what values do I advocate for, which weaknesses do I have, which gaps do I have in leadership, just identifying that, and how do I work on the gaps that I have. I've managed to understand who I am as a person. In just understanding who I am, it means I can also understand the people that I work with. So I would say LF is really skill equipping in terms of a holistic approach. The psychological aspect, what is your emotional intelligence, the physical aspect, are you looking on yourself, are you looking at your health, how are you taking care of yourself even before you take care of someone else, and also the economic aspect, how do I...
So I hope you've taken enough selfies. I'm trying to get the most powerful mic, you know. This is a very powerful session. Yes, so have you taken selfies with the guy or the lady next to you? Yes. Viongozi wa P-Self, welcome so much. Susan Wairimu, I've seen you. Those are presidents who are in the house. And now we also have the new president in town, who will also join the League of Presidents. So I want to welcome our team leader, the sower of the mustard seed. And yeah, something is going on there. Good. Yeah, so let's clap for Miss Karen Wakoli.
The emperor, the conqueror, the champion, the lion is here. Zobu, zobu, anybody.
Hey people, Saseni, Mambo. Oh, I'm so happy to see you. Please look at your neighbor and just tell them they're looking awesome and beautiful and powerful. Identify something that is true about them and tell them. Let us learn the art of complimenting each other. Please, I can see some people are just looking at each other. Please! Look at somebody and comment about their hair, their glasses, their dress, their trouser, their suit, their eyes, their legs. Nani hajaambiwa compliment? So there's Vicky and Susan. Please just stand to your feet. Any other person hajapewa compliment? Yourself. Please stand to your feet. So we have 3 people who've not been complimented. And I'm surprised because you're seated next to the lady. So I wonder why you are not complimented. So I want 3 volunteers. 1 for Vicky, 1 for Susan, 1 for, please remember your name? Tobias. 1 for Tobias to compliment them. Susan, thank you. We have Tobias and Vicky. Tobias, thank you. Vicky? Yes, we have Vicky. Okay, so let's start with Vicky. You need the microphone.
I met Vicky today, but what has struck me about her is her courage to stand up and get it going. She has a very infectious smile, yeah, which makes you really think about your own life and whether internally you are smiling. She made me think about that.
That's deep. Please pick the mic. Yeah, you can hug her. Thank you very much, Susan. The complimenter for Susan, she's here.
He says professional commenter. So I met Susan yesterday. She's my accountability partner.
Wow.
I respect her a lot. You are wise, kind, beautiful, and I think more people will benefit from you in this world. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Finally, Tobias, the complimenter, she's here.
Good morning, everyone. Tobias, I've interacted with you, I think, 3 or 4 times. And what I've noted is you are very firm in whatever you say. You're very kind, but very firm, which is a good quality for a leader. And I love your height.
Ooh. I just overheard somebody say, tell me. Wow, interesting. Susan, what did you feel when that was said about you? And as you take the mic, please tell us a little more about yourself, what you do. Yeah, then tell us what you felt.
Hi, good morning, everyone. A happy congratulations to everyone. So my name is Susan Wairimu, ELF Alumni Cohort 8 and the President. It felt amazing. I believe every person deserves to feel appreciated in whatever small way it is. But again, before someone appreciates you, you need to first of all appreciate yourself.
Yeah.
So when they are putting in whatever compliment it is, you're like, yeah, I know that. I know that. But above all, I am from Kajiado County. I run a CBO called Inspire Teenagers Foundation, where we work with adolescent girls and teen moms. I have a very strong interest in storytelling for social change, and I believe that every story here is powerful, and we are going to use our stories to change the community. Thank you.
Yay! Let's appreciate Susan. And I know if we were to give the mic to each and every one of you, you have a powerful story. Cynthia. And Susan, you said something really important. You said, before somebody else comes to appreciate us, and for us to embrace that, we need to first appreciate ourselves. Now, there's something really powerful about appreciating ourselves, but also seeing ourselves. There's a South African word called sawubona. Who knows the meaning? Sawubona. It means, I see you. I see you. How many of us here, for young people in the room, how many of us feel seen? Wherever you are, your home, your workplace, in the country, as a young person, you feel seen. Okay, quite a number. How many of us do not feel seen? Or you're not seen the way in which you want to be seen? Okay, we have some hands. Okay. And the most powerful place to be seen is the home. How many of us feel seen in our homes by our parents, our guardians, our siblings? Okay, lovely. How many of us do not feel seen at home? You're ignored, you're compared to other people. I can see somebody here laughing. Do you feel seen at home? Oh, you're seen. So this is something so powerful that I learned, and ever since I keep asking myself, do I see me? And do we see young people for who they are, for their power, their creativity? It's really important. In the policy spaces, in decision-making spaces, but most importantly, at home, in our personal relationships. So please just turn to your neighbor and tell them, I see you. And for the two speakers who are going to come later, I would like to call on you to speak to the younger generation about being seen and that you see them. Because many young people feel disgruntled. They are not seen for who they are. A lot of times I find myself in spaces where either I'm speaking to elders or politicians or leaders, and they just say, young people are rowdy, young people are noisemakers, but young people are the engine of our nation, of our continent, of our homes. So I would like if our two speakers can make peace, the intergenerational peace, and get to see us. So now, I would like to take this chance to invite one of our board members, a powerful lady. She's beautiful. She's clad in, is that pink or pink and white? And oh my goodness, or peach. Let her just come forth and you will hear her. She is one of our board members, brilliant, very supportive, really believes in young people. And she is always looking for opportunities, jobs, funding opportunities, exchange opportunities for young people and sharing with us. So I am very sure my colleague Kim, who's in charge of alumni engagement, will be in touch with you at some point to share opportunities that will have come from Miss Penina. She's a powerful lady, working in Senegal, Kenya, Geneva, coordinating a number of African countries, works with the UN, but most importantly, she's in love with young people. Karibu sana.
Ooh, Karen, you have set the stage. I don't know how to follow. So, as you've heard, my name is Penina Machoka. I love young people, first because I'm even a mother. So when I used to sit on that side, and I'm thinking, if there was a board member coming to speak to us, I'm like, naharakishe jamani, we want to hear the real people. So me, I have no speech, okay? I'm just here to share my stories. And thank you for mentioning that. It's very important. People understand and connect better when they hear a story. As you've heard from Karen, I work with the United Nations. I'm not here in that capacity. I've done many things. I'm a lawyer by training. I've been in operations, I've been in communications. I've now coming towards the end of, I think, my career. And now I am a student at Daystar University doing psychology. So when you say intergenerational, I am enjoying classes. They are online, and so frequently I hear my fellow students speaking to the mwalimu and saying, mwalimu, you know, this is what goes on in our house. You know, our mother this, our mother that. And these people who are over 50, you know this about them, and we are on the court. So I'm thinking, wow, you know. So I think we have no choice if this country is to move forward, but to be intentionally intergenerational. Because as a community, we are intergenerational. You have your grandparents, you have your parents, you have you, and you have others that are younger than you. And we've always lived intergenerationally. So this artificial segmentation of those are the old people, those are the super old, wazee, us we are the ones, and then those ones, they are not yet. I don't really subscribe necessarily to that segmentation. All of us have something to learn from other people. I'm learning more from young people. They challenge me in what I'm thinking, what I'm doing, including my own children. So as I mentioned, I'm a mother of 2 boys. One is 31, the other one is 27. And yes, I got married immediately after university. So that is where I am. What I want to say, and Karen has just mentioned, saying something about being seen. I think in my own experience, I've worked in different continents. I worked in the US for 11 years in New York. I worked in Austria, in Europe. I worked in Malaysia. I'm working in Senegal. So I've seen a lot of cultures. I've interacted with a lot of people. And one thing I can tell you is, if you want to be seen, elbow your way in. Nobody's going to give you a seat. Nobody is going to say, I think you look smart, come and sit here. Oh, you sound very intelligent, come and sit here. No, you elbow your way to the table. Elbow sisemi mupigane tafadhali, okay? Elbow means be organized, be thoughtful, be intentional. And I think one of the preceding speakers, I think from the earlier, said add value. I have seen so much value added by young people. And I know it is very cliche to say that young people are the leaders and so on and so forth, and then when the reality comes, you know, sit down, musikize wazee kwanza. So my message to you is elbow your place into that space. And I've seen it in my class. There are so many people who have a lot of experience, who have, who are far much more qualified than most of the young people in the class. But one thing I'm learning from those young people in class, they elbow their way to hear their voice heard. Your voice matters. It matters to you. It matters to those who may not be speaking. It matters to those who are coming after you. I grew up in Nairobi. I was born in Nairobi, bred in Nairobi, but I grew up I was raised by a widow. My father passed away when I was very young. And so I have learned over the years to elbow my way into spaces. Not fight, elbow my way. Naangalia hapa naweza penya namna gani, and you move with courage. That is how, with the Lord's grace, I have found myself with the experience that I have. Nobody owes you anything. And that's what I also say to my kids. Don't walk around with a sense of entitlement. Mimi, I should, people should, they should, the government should. Yes, we have rights, but we also have responsibilities. So when you elbow into that space and you find yourself in that space, and over tea, I met two ladies from the Ogiek community. Hey, tutapiga picha pamoja, because I have not actually met, yes. And I was encouraged, I think even I met a lady who is a president of a Rotaract Club. So we have presidents already in our forum here. So when you have that opportunity, add value, add impact, move on. Do not be confined to what you are today. You are the president of Rotaract, you're running an NGO for girls and whatever. You can be what you want to be. You just need to see the opportunity and go. I never knew, I don't even think I wanted to be a lawyer when I was in high school. I really, like, I identify with the other lady who mentioned, you know, I was kind of confused. Should I do this? Should I do that? And I was one of those students in school who just go with the flow. To Nasoma, if I pass the exam, fine, you just see what is in front of you. And I had a teacher in my high school who, when we were filling out the programs that you want to do in university, she saw in me what I did not see in myself. And she went and changed what I had written as my career choice. I wanted to do a BA in languages because I had done some languages. And she went and changed it to law. And she walked into class one day, is Mrs. Odinga. She walked into class one day and told me, Penina, I have changed your program. You are going to do law. People who speak life, who speak positivity into you, even when you don't see it for yourself. And that's what I'm asking you to do for those who are around you. A lot of you, if not most of you, are working with people who are vulnerable. They don't feel seen. They don't feel empowered. They don't have hope. Speak positivity into their lives. Say, you want to be what? You will be a doctor. You will be a teacher. You will be an MP. You will be whatever it is that they aspire to be. Because I'm a Christian. With God, all things are possible. I had never, in my wildest imagination, growing up near Kibera, thought that I would be on a plane going somewhere to serve. My final word to you, and it really comes from it comes from a place of what ELF and my experience has been in ELF. I think you see Karen a lot, you see the other directors a lot. I'm one of 12 board members. So ELF doesn't just meander like a river looking for where it will go through. There is a lot of thought. There are a lot of professionals behind this organization providing guidance and support. So it's not enough to have a dream. It's also important to draw the right resources. So whatever forum you are in, whether it is in the village, whether it is with the MP, whether it is with the councillor, whoever the person might be who you're interacting with, it's very important that you understand what governance is behind that. This is a values-based program that you went through. This is a values-based organization. So hata ukitiwa mkutano wapi, ask yourself, who is funding? Nani, who is funding this? Who is leading this? What is the vision of the person who is leading this? Those three questions, Uliza. Once you have those three, have a meeting with yourself and ask, does this align with what my values are? Because there are so many NGOs, there are so many CBOs, but do they align with your values? Final word. Tonight, after all the excitement, na tume dance, na tumesikia mzuri, we've graduated, have a meeting with yourself. Write down what your values are. My values are X and Y and Z. Na mahali umeandika hizo values, don't deviate from those values. When the challenge comes, itakuta umesha decide. You already had a meeting with yourself and you decided, I am not going to bribe. I am not going to take something, behind other people's back. I am not going to do something unethical. Have that meeting with yourself today, not tomorrow. Today. Write it down. Why am I saying this? The environment in which I grew up and the challenges I've had in my career are not technical. They are values-based. Are you willing to stand with your values? That is leadership. You can be the biggest expert. You can be Bill Gates wa Kenya. You can be the biggest doctor. You can be the biggest social entrepreneur, and so on. But what are your values? People must know you for your values before they even talk about your technical capacity. Kusoma tunaweza soma. Funding tunaweza pata funding tufanya 1, 2, 3, 4. And remember, the day you decide, this one time, I'm not going to follow my values because I need to do 1, 2, 3. Once you cross that red line, it is almost impossible to go back. Even if people don't know, you know. It has been very difficult to have a values-based career, which I think I have had. It has cost me. It has cost me money. It has cost me opportunities. It has cost me friends. It has cost me connections. But you know what? I sleep at night. How much do you need as a person? A bed. You have one stomach. We are not cows. Cows wanakuanga na tumbo ngapi? Kadhaa, 4. We have only one stomach. So you can only eat so much food. You can only spend so much money. You can only live in one house at a time. So please, my message to you coming from the board is, you have come through a values-based organization. If you want to be seen, hold on to your values. Write them down and hold on to your values. It does not profit a man. I think you know the rest. It does not profit a man. Heri uzikwe na shati hiyo moja. Iwe ulibaki kwa kijiji ama the next town. Lakini jina yako imebaki imara. Kuliko, wewe ndio you own this, you go here, you know everybody. But at the end of the day, hata wasiposema, they know the values you stood for. So on behalf of the board, I want to congratulate you. I want to congratulate Karen. I want to congratulate everybody who is here today, and thank you for your time.
All I require for life, God has given me, and I know who I am.
Thank you so much, Penina. Talking about values, the other day I met an 83-year-old woman at the gym. She swims every single day. And so we got to know each other, and I said, what's the secret? And she said, number 1, integrity. Values, keep your values. It's not at you working out or nini. Yes, workout is good. It has kept me this way in my 83 years. But knowing your values is everything. So, Penina, you're so right. Talent, we're all talented. Talent can take you to the top, but it takes character to keep you there. How many of us are mentoring any young person or mentoring a peer? That's nice. I'm surprised. I'm not seeing every hand in the room. Please mentor somebody, even as you're being mentored. So I am being mentored by these two. I am also mentoring this lady right here. Please let us know your name and what you do. And there's something she did. She just got her KCSE results. You can tell us what you scored and if you're mentoring other young people in your school.
God has given me, and I know who I am.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Laura Wabomba. I just finished high school in Kianda. I finished with an A. I did use to mentor, I'll put it in quotes, at an all-female club called FAIDA. So we used to mentor those in primary school, help them with studies, take them on trips, give them talks. Yeah, right now I'm still trying to figure out what I want to do in uni, but I'm keeping myself busy with hobbies. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Let's appreciate her. Please find somebody to mentor even as you're being mentored. And we can also do peer mentorship and reverse mentorship as well. So ladies and gentlemen, finally, the time has come. In fact, Penina, why don't you? Yeah. The time has come
welcome for our chief guest to speak with us. She is many things, my goodness. I hope you can all get her business cards, contacts, get in touch with her, join Women on Boards. Penina, please come. But oh my goodness, she is an amazing, amazing, awesome. Watch out when you cheer up, Penina.
So I think from the program you can see who she is, but it is my distinct pleasure and honor to invite my classmates from University of Nairobi Law School 30-something years ago. Awesome lady. You'll be hearing from a powerhouse. Do not look at what she is wearing and how she looks. Ukafikiria huyu ni mama tu. She is a powerhouse, and I am so honored that she is a trailblazer. When we were at university, alikuwa mpole sana. But today, it is my distinct pleasure and honor to welcome Catherine. Let me see I make sure all the names I have them. Catherine Musakali, LLB, where I met her, LLM, that is Masters of Law, FCPSK, ACIRB, OGBW. Catherine is the chair and co-founder of the Women on Boards Network, Kenya. She birthed this network, and I cannot think of any woman of repute in Kenya today who is not a member of this network. So please join me in welcoming Catherine. Tumshangilie.
Wow. Thank you so much, Penina. Good afternoon, everybody. And let me start by saying congratulations to you for this very, very important step in your life. Thank you, Karen, for inviting me and coaxing me along to come. But indeed, it is a pleasure for me to be here with you. And let me start by confirming that I didn't know Penina's story about elbowing. But I can confirm to you that when we were in campus, she was actually elbowing. So she has lived up to her expectations as an elbower. Great. Who is a leader? Let me start with that. How many leaders do we have in this room? Let me see the leaders in this room. Awesome. Because almost every hand is up. Now, why that is important to me is this. That leadership is not a position. Do you agree? Leadership is not a position. And if I go back to the Bible, somebody was told, and that is your exam, somebody was told, what do you have in your hand? Do you remember the person? Who was it? Yes. He was told, what do you have in your hand? And that stuff is what he used for leadership. What you have are the circumstances that you find yourself in. And those circumstances present the opportunity for you to be a leader in your space, doing you, being authentically you, being a leader. Leadership is not a position. I grew up in a family of 10. Don't try this at home now. I warn you. So I am the 9th born in a family of 10 siblings. And I grew up with my father and mother teaching me leadership. And I call myself a leader because of that background that I come from. My father taught me leadership. And my father was a primary school teacher. And my father said, my children have to be leaders wherever they are. And he designated himself the president of our home. And he said my mother was the vice president and minister for home affairs. And each of my brothers, almost all of my brothers and sisters, had ministerial posts in our home. So we had a minister for agriculture, we had a minister for finance, we had a minister for education. Thank you, I went to school. And during holidays, we would sit around the fire after dinner. And my father would convene those cabinet sittings. And he would require of the cabinet ministers to make their reports. So, Minister for Agriculture, we only managed to plow 5 acres because the Minister for Finance did not provide the resources to get more diesel. So that's where it all started. But I was so young, and my father said, you know, you're still a leader. Don't worry about the position. And what are you going to do? You're going to be taking notes of those cabinet meetings, and you're going to record them down. I'm not therefore surprised that I became a lawyer. I became a company secretary whose role is to keep a record of what goes on. That was my leadership journey, starting right there. And growing up in rural Kenya, Bungoma in particular, those days, if your neighbor did not have a cow, what you did, and if you had more than one cow, you took one of your cows. I said cow, not bull. You took one of your cows and you gave it to your neighbor. Why? Because your neighbor needs milk the same way you do. Right? And when that cow calved down, you then took back your cow and you left them with a calf. I wish we could go back to that Africa. I wish we could. And so one of my roles as a leader in the family was to record down who had which cow. So my father asks me to record that black cow with a white spot on the back has been loaned out to so and so. And I kept on recording that. And so I'm actually not surprised about the sort of leadership I have taken on over time. So leadership is situational. What do you have in your hand? But as Penina says, knowing who you are is critical to the type of leadership that you're going to see and to be out there. This world is complex. And unless you know your true north, and your true north is your values, unless you know your true north, anything goes, anything happens, and it is okay. So my message to you today, one of my messages to you today, is what is your true north? Who are you? What are your values? What do you stand for? Are you authentic to yourself? Or are you a photocopy? You know, photocopies end up fading. Are you a true copy of yourself? Are you authentically you? Are you true to yourself? Are you living to your true north? What is your purpose in life? Why do you think you were born in the first place? To do what? We have so many people. Why are you uniquely you? Why were you born? What is your purpose in life? And are you achieving that purpose in life? What is your passion? As you seek to lead, what is your passion? What makes you tick when you wake up in the morning? What do you think God was trying to achieve by saying, I want my daughter so-and-so to be on this earth, my son so-and-so to be on this earth? What are your values? Where do you want to see yourself in the next 5 years? What are your goals from a personal perspective, from a leadership perspective, from a personal and individual perspective? What are your goals? And the next question is, those being your goals, which you have laid out, how are you going to get there? What do you need? Whose support do you need to get there? And what are you going to do about it so that you get there? Because you're not going anywhere. You're not getting anywhere unless you're deliberate about your journey. Unless you're deliberate about your journey, anything goes and everything goes. So do you have a plan about achieving your goals in life? How are you equipping yourself? Do you have a coach? Do you have a mentor? And they don't have to be formal ones. They can be your friends, your personal board of directors, as they're called in certain corners. There is also reverse mentorship. I received mentorship from my 2 kids here, Tony and Laura. Thank you for escorting me today. So who is mentoring you? Whose journey are you walking? Whose journey are you following? Who is guiding you in terms of where you want to go and your true north? Find your vision, my dear friends. Find your vision. Having defined your purpose, find your vision. Never think small. Don't think that you cannot make it the way others have made it. Don't think small. Because if you think small, you will only achieve that small. So think big. Don't be afraid of your vision. As somebody else said, if your vision or your goals don't scare you enough, then they're not good enough. When you sleep at night, get scared of who you want to become. Because it will force you to ask yourself, what do I need to do to get there? Find your vision. Never think small, but work hard. There is no shortcut to working hard or smart, as others say. There is no shortcut. Success does not come without hard work. Success does not come without sometimes some pain, some suffering. Discomfort equals growth. Discomfort equals growth. So if you're thinking of doing your PhD and there is no reason why in this room we shouldn't, don't ask me, not me, you. There is no reason why we shouldn't have people with PhDs here. What are you doing about it? And that PhD may only come because you lost some sleep at night. There is no growth without discomfort. You have to sweat it out. You have to keep working hard. Ignore the naysayers. You know those people who look at you every day and say, Ati, you are telling me you want to be the president of this country. Hey, you can't make it. Ignore those guys. They will speak, and at night they will sleep. as you work on your dream. So ignore those people who tell you that you can't make it. So there is no shortcut to achieving your dreams. You have got to work hard. But I also want to say this. Travel light, and be a smooth rolling stone. What do I mean? Laura, can you show my handbag? I don't know how many people saw my handbag. Have you seen my handbag? I travel with a small handbag because I don't want to carry too many things that will hold me back. Now that's just a metaphor. In your life, how many things are you holding and carrying with you that are just dragging you down and not letting you move forward? Men are very good at this. Men will quarrel at lunchtime and in the evening they are having a drink together. True or false? Now for us ladies, we have a bit of learning to do. In 2015, on 26th of January, Karen, you told me that I was... Why does it matter? Why does it matter? And you know, as you're thinking about that, you're not thinking about where you need to go. True or false? Travel light. Don't carry too many people and too many things in your heart. Travel light. Be that smooth rolling stone. Because if you're a smooth rolling stone, even if you're rolling in the sand and in the soil, it just goes away. And it leaves you as you were. Travel light and be a smooth rolling stone. Put yourself forward. As Penina said, elbow your way. They always say that leadership is not given. It is taken, right? So unless you put up your hand, unless you work for it, leadership is not going to come to you. Nobody is going to say, come ye forth and sit here, my daughter, my son. No. Leadership is not taken, it is not given, it is taken. So what are you doing to take up that leadership space that you desire? And remember, I said it's not a position. You don't have to be called the chair of this and that organization to be a leader. You can be a leader in your own right. I think I must also speak about mental health. Take care of your friends. Take care of yourself. Take care of your friends. Take care of your family. Issues of mental health have become so, it's like a national or global crisis. And when you see Vicky smiling, Karen, don't take her smile for granted. She may actually be going through, it's not you, Vicky, I'm using you as an example. Your friend might be going through a lot, but they are smiling and you're seeing that smile and you take it for granted that they are happy. When you go to your workplace in the morning and you say good morning and you walk away, please now say good morning and look people in the face and say, how are you feeling today? Is everything okay at home? That may be the two words, those may be the two words they need for them to open up and to tell you what they're going through. Mental health. They say we are no longer in a VUCA world. What they used to say VUCA. VUCA is? Volatile, uncertain, complex, ambiguous, right? They say that died with COVID. We have now moved to a world they call the bunny world. And what is the bunny world? B-A-N-I. What is the bunny world? Brittle. Systems are no longer as resilient as they were before. Bunny. People are anxious, the A. People are anxious. Everybody is anxious. You don't know where your food is going to come from tomorrow. You don't know whether you're going to pay school fees. Anxiety is at its highest in the world. So please reach out to your friends. Please reach out to your family. Make sure you genuinely know how they are doing. Look at them in the face and find out what is going on. Are they okay? Now, when you achieve your goals, remember to reward yourself. Remember to reward yourself. One of the most important things in life, and Karen preaches to me every day about this, is called self-care. Don't forget yourself. Reward yourself. When you achieve your goals, reward yourself. Even if it is a simple reward. Why do we wait for people to buy us gifts? When we can buy for ourselves, can we not? We can. It can be a simple gift. You know, for me, a gift as simple as sweet potato bread is good enough. When I achieve the goals I have set for myself, I can go to Naivas and buy myself sweet potato bread. I can go somewhere and buy myself a slice of cake. Kujipigia pole. Because, yes, ambia mwili asante. Because unless you learn to appreciate yourself, other people don't appreciate you. So take care of yourself, look after yourself, make sure that you are ensuring that you are good emotionally, mentally, physically, and otherwise. As I end, I want to finish with a few, comments. Self-development is not an option. It is a must. So don't assume that your graduation today is an end in itself. You have to keep developing yourself. When you achieve a goal, you ask yourself, what is the next thing I need to do? Because God put you in this world so that you keep developing, you keep growing. You help him in his work of procreation and all. So self-development is not an option, it is a must. Have an elevator pitch so that people know what you're looking at doing and what you're looking at achieving, because therein could be your opportunity when you meet them. So what is your elevator pitch? And if you don't know what an elevator pitch is, go and Google it. Practice your elevator pitch in front of the mirror so that when you meet Director Penina, you tell her, I am so-and-so, and this is what I'm passionate about. ESG, SDGs, whatever it is. So that when she comes upon an opportunity that requires somebody with your skills, she's like, oh yeah, there was that young man I met. What was his name again, Karen? The one who was talking about SDGs. See what she's remembering? It is that elevator pitch. So practice your elevator pitch. Time management is so critical for you. A day has 24 hours. Or is it 48? 24. And we each have our 24 hours. How you use your 24 hours, of course we say sleep at least 8. Some of us sleep less. How you use your waking up time depends on how far you go. There are some of us who use the time that we have available to us when our eyes are open, just doing things that are not important, and you know these ones. You know, you're just chatting and hanging around people who are going nowhere. Because if you're hanging around people who are going nowhere, you are also going nowhere. So it is okay. Don't drop them, but spend less time with them. Spend more time with people who are taking you somewhere. Manage your time. Prioritize what you need to do. And be intentional about what you want to achieve. So time management is absolutely critical. Ensure that as young people, home is okay, even as you look to change the world outside. Because unless everything is okay at home, you will always have this burden in your heart that is holding you back. So for those of you who are married, manage your work-home conflict. It will always be there. But manage it and make sure that you're okay at home so that you can deliver in the world. Develop powerful networks. Networks that take you places. Networks that get to open the doors for you when you need those doors opened. Who is in your network? They say your network is your net worth. So who's in your network? Who can you call and say, hey, can you do this for me? And you know what? Let me tell you a secret about leaders. Even this Penina here that you see. It is lonely at the top. And because it is lonely at the top, they will only be too willing to support young people like you because you're keeping them relevant. It is lonely at the top. We are all busy doing our own too many things. So we don't get to connect at a human level the way we would love to connect. So when you see that leader that you admire very, very much, don't shy away from walking up to them and say, I am so and so, and I would love for you to walk with me. Or to do 1, 2, 3 for you. You will be amazed at the response you get. And that's why, even at ELF, you have the type of mentors you have. They are only too willing to support you. They're only too willing because you keep them grounded. So look for a coach, look for a mentor, look for, a sounding board from those corners. Have confidence in your identity. You can never be anybody else. You are just you. So invest in you. There is a company called Me Limited. Me Limited. So say your name and say limited at the end. Penina Limited. What about you? There is a company called Me Limited. And that is you. That is your brand, which you need to invest in. Penina and other board members spend copious amounts of time investing in ELF, doing a strategic plan for ELF, looking for, funds for ELF, looking for, staff, resources, and everything for ELF. How much time do we spend on developing Me Limited? Do we invest in ourselves? Do we look for opportunities to develop ourselves? don't sweat small stuff. Don't sweat small stuff. So what if they said your eyes are not as beautiful as those ones? Does it matter? Does it change the fact that you can still see? Only focus on the big things. The big things that impact who you are, the big things that impact your passion and where you're going. But small things that so-and-so didn't greet you today, so-and-so, I don't know, thinks what of you. Forget about those things and move on. Because those things will only hold you back. So as I end, identify your values, your priorities, go after your vision. But most importantly, own your worth. Own your worth. Do you know how much you're worth? Each of you here, do you know how much you're worth? Do you? That is your homework. And when I say how much you're worth, I am not talking about money until you start counting how many title deeds you have. No. Your homework is, what is my value? What is my worth? And say, if you died today, who would cry? That helps you determine your value. That helps you determine your worth. And you must be able to articulate your worth. Nobody articulates your worth better than you. So you must be able to speak about your worth. You must be able to articulate what you're capable of doing. Congratulations, God bless you, and all the best.
You feel defeated, falling on your knees and looking up for some hope tonight. You try to stand up, but you throw your hands. If you believe you can move the highest mountains, cross the greatest oceans, walk across the water.
Please, let's just give her a standing ovation. That was really awesome. Wow.
Walk across the water.
And kind and nice way you've delivered a very powerful message with so many lessons. We can have our seats. Thank you so much. What are some of the things that you've picked from her speech? Just one statement, whatever. Yeah. Anyone? Yes? Don't sweat the small stuff. Everything starts and stops with you. Invest in yourself. Self-development is a must. Know your worth. Okay. Be a smooth rolling stone. Travel light, yes. Oh yeah, self-care. Have an elevator pitch. Watasema mchana usiku, watalala. Thank you. It's not a position. Yes? Sorry? Discomfort equals growth. They actually say that we grow at the edge of our comfort zone. So that is so true. Thank you so much. Yes? Oh yeah, me limited. Whew, that's really something. Yes? Self-development is not an option. One last person. Yes? Know your values, critical, yes? Sorry? Absolutely. Oh, okay. Would you like to?
Thank you, Karen. It is true. I got a job in New York City through an elevator pitch. So what Catherine is saying is true. I had been to a program and and fellow Kenyan told me about elevator pitch. She used to go to Harvard. Mimi sikuenda huko. So she told me, Penina, you need to know elevator pitch. I'm like, what is elevator pitch? Useme, I'm Penina, I am a lawyer, I did this, I'm also good at this. You know, vile Americans, they know kujisemea. Our culture says, apana, usionge, usijisifu. No, that's not the way the world operates. I walked into I saw a boss. I said, haya, sisi huyo ni so and so. Nikaingia kwa elevator na excuse me, I'd like to have an appointment with you. He said, let's talk now. Talk. We are in the elevator, we are 2 people. What do you say? Unazuba. I'm like, I started elevator pitch. I am Penina. I've done this. I've done this. I've done this. Tukatoka kwa lift. We are walking. He's like, and I've done this. And I've done this. I've done it. We reached his building. Yeah, alikuwa na pass ya ku. Me, I couldn't. So I was left there. I'm like, and then he said, I'll get back to you in 2 weeks. Like, siya ni watu wa uongo tu. I went back. I kid you not. In 2 weeks' time, I was called. The director is calling you. I was in trouble by the hai nafutwa leo nafutwa kumbe watu wanafutwa wanaitwa huko juu. I went up, I found he had convened all his directors. As I mentioned, nilikuwa nimefanya misukosuko, elbowing. I'm telling you, I got into that room. He told me, Penina, I've heard these good things about you. I heard what you said. I was waiting for na sasa tutakufuta. And he said, and that is why I want you to come and work for me. That elevator pitch was less than 2 minutes. So don't minimize what she's saying. It is true. Kuwa armed to the T. Sikula utakutana na mtu mahali, you are ready with your elevator pitch. I am so and so, I am so and so, I can do this, I can do this, I can do this. Ako ka confidence. Katakupeleka mahali. Thank you.
Wow, Penina, I like even how you speak and say. Wow, thank you so much. And I love that the lessons we're learning are so practical. Everyday people, everyday life, we learn from each other. Now, I would like the ELF team to just stand to your feet. And I know not everybody is here, but we have some team members who are here. Lovely. So we have a number of us here. So some are in. Now, because of time, Amma, you'd like to say your names? Oh, because of time. Okay. So I just would like to say something, to touch on something Penina said. By the way, guys, everything, like even this day and running of ELF and everything about ELF and the work we do with young people, for young people, is not about me. It's teamwork. All these people. So guys, I just want to say, I see you. I honor you. I appreciate you. I value you. I cherish you. And thank you for who you are. And thank you for what you do. And you do it with so much heart. I love that. I love you guys. Thank you so much and God bless you. So guys, just help me appreciate this amazing team of guys.
You're simply the best.
Thank you. You may have your seat as I invite Andre to carry on with the program. Thank you so much.
Let's clap for Karen. So that's our team leader. I would want to welcome on stage Chiboy and Josiah to take us to the next level. Chiboy, Josiah, please come on stage. Let's clap for Josiah. First of all, gentlemen, take note of the combo in the suit and what matches it. It's very important for gentlemen. Josiah, over to you.
Thank you so much, Andre, for that. We are headed to the next part of our program, and it is awarding these fellows what is due for them, what is due to them. So we are going to award certificates to these fellows. On stage, I'll be joined by my team lead, Cheboy. so that then we're able to award our fellows. We are going to follow an order as the DJ gives us a piece of music or entertainment, so that then we have the gifts as well ready. For the order of certificates, we'll start, they are seated in the right order for issuing of certificates. So you will just proceed from your right to the stage. So as I was saying, so you'll proceed on the right, come to the podium, and then you'll use the stairs on the left. Sawa sawa? Sawa sawa. DJ.
Me a lifetime of promises and a world of dreams. Speak the language of love like you know what it means. And it can't be wrong. Take my heart and make it strong.
I believe the moment the graduates, the staff, the guests, everyone who came to celebrate with the graduates was waiting for is now. I am a proud ELF iLEAD Cohort 2 fellow. And I remember when I was graduating, I was still very shy. So my name was called. And then I came, ran, took my certificate. I didn't even pose for a nice photo. I disappeared. But the leaders we have journeyed with in Cohort 10 are bold, beautiful, and they seize the moment. As we agreed last night, when you come on stage, today is your day. Take a minute to just pause, look into the camera, have that beautiful, beautiful photo that you can use in your autobiography when you start to decide to do one or something of the sort. So, thank you for surprising Josiah and I. Our board member, you spoke and you said, speak life into other people. When we were having that round circle last night, you spoke life into me. You spoke life into Josiah, and we hope that we have spoken life into you. We celebrate the journey you have embarked on from all counties in Kenya. Others of you started journeys 2 days to the session day, others at 3 a.m. to be in Nairobi in time for the sessions. Like you could wake up maybe midnight or something of the sort. We don't take it for granted. We are happy for you. And our executive director decided one of the gifts you're going home with is a book. Yes. I hope each of you takes the time to read, because they were picked intentionally. And then half are receiving one particular book and then half a different one. So you can find whoever received a copy you don't have and then swap when you're done reading. But I really hope you will read, because after reading, I will be calling you with questions. So tell me, what did you pick and all that, right? Sawa sawa. So we are awarding 3 different categories this afternoon. For the 28 young change makers who successfully went through the program, you will receive the certificate of participation. And then as a cohort, you chose your leaders. The president of the cohort, the vice president, there, and there, PWD what? Representative. So different people will be coming on stage to award that. As the graduates come on stage, it is my humble request, let's appreciate them. Kuna lunch, I think kuna kuku, kuna chapati, we have rice, and whoever claps the most, I will give them my kuku, I promise. So with the energy we start at the beginning, let's carry on the energy to the end. Let us make them feel special, right? Sawa sawa. And we have 3 young people who will be graduating in absentia due to unavoidable circumstances, but we want to celebrate them as well. So we will start with them. And as we call their names, let's celebrate them. We start with Mercy Japkirui from Eldoret County, followed by Dennis Olwoch Owino, followed by Pascalia Howie. During the interviews, Pascalia Howie, during her interview, said she will be relocating after September to the US. But in case she makes it to the program, it was her deepest request that we ensure she follows through and graduates from the program. And thanks to our management, we were able to get a teleconferencing facility together with Zoom. I understand the concentration span is like 2 hours and then you're tired. But for her, for 8 hours, she could log in, actively participate, during break times, take a small break and come back, and we celebrate for her. We celebrate her for that. So let's appreciate her in absentia from the US, Pascalia. And now I will be inviting a few people on stage to give out certificates. And we start with our executive director, Miss Karen Wakoli. Our hands together for our first graduate, Abdullahi Mohammed Abdi.
Let's celebrate. throughout the years. So bring your good times and your laughter.
You will be followed by Amani Nuri.
Your party with you.
Yes,
Come
Nuri.
Let's all celebrate.
Check Nuri, guys.
We go celebrate.
You will be followed by Bana Kubukwa.
It's time to come together. It's up to you. What's your pleasure?
Let's appreciate Caroline Kemei as she comes forth.
It's a celebration.
She's followed by Domitila. Let's appreciate Domitila, guys. Eric, you're next in line. Let's appreciate Eric Otwane.
Let's celebrate.
Esther Cherokee. Come dancing, man.
A dedication to last through.
Let's appreciate Esther, my people. I can see someone is not clapping. Fauzia, come bouncing. Congrats on your graduation. Let's appreciate Fauzia, guys. And she's followed by Florence. Let's appreciate Florence, guys.
Believe it, look who we are. We are dreamers. We make it happen, 'cause we can see it. It's through the walls that keep the passion. We expect, oh yeah.
Thanks to Miss Mahoney. You can exit the stage and we invite Arnold Ekomi, team lead champions for SDG, to issue the next set of certificates.
Gather round now, look at me. Respecting up the only way.
Appreciate Franklin Odhiambo, our president, as he comes for his certificate. Vicky, you're not clapping. Him, clap, clap. He's followed by John Itau, our cohort doctor. Klapieni daktari, atakuwa family doctor wenu, man. He's followed by John Joshua Maina. The board game was crazy. Thank you for making it fun yesterday. John Joshua Maina, let's appreciate. And he's followed by Johnston Mushiri Mwangi. We know it took a lot for you to be here today. We celebrate and honor you. Congratulations, my leader.
Yes, I can. Doubt, better leave. I wonder what this plan. Pull me, grab me, Travis in the bucket can't have me. I'll be the president one day. Jam Kirby thirst. Oh, you like that guy?
And he's followed by Josephat Maina Karanja. When he was being interviewed, he asked if we consider persons with disability. And he had one request after the interview, that even if I don't make it, ensure at least one person with disability makes it to the program. He's a PWD champion and we celebrate him for that. Josephat, let's appreciate him, guys. Thank you, Josephat, for being an amazing champion. We celebrate you, we honor you, and congratulations for staying the course all the way from Nakuru County. You can look at the camera and smile. He's followed by Judith Koech. Thank you, Judith, for waking up. County to embrace leadership development. And she's followed by Lydia Ijaka. All the way from Bungoma County, traveling over 8 hours to come for the fellowship and then traveling back for over 8 hours. We celebrate you. She has a passion for fashion, so you can see her after this for a nice dress or suit. She's followed by Margaret Wangeshi, all the way from Nakuru County. Ooh, let's clap, guys. Who is not clapping? We celebrate you, Margaret. Her passion wows everyone, and she's about to found an initiative, and we are backing her and supporting her. Let's appreciate her once more. And she's followed by Omondi Joshua Adidi. Please come dancing, man. We celebrate you, my leader. Congratulations on your graduation. Our director of programs to come and issue the next set of certificates. As Acho comes on stage, I think mmepumzisha mkono kidogo. So the next set of sats, nataka kila mtu clap. If you don't, nitakuamsha uclap and then I will compensate. Let's put our hands together for Otieno Milan Ocheng. He taught us about a hard stop. At first I need to travel back to Shag, so let's finish. Thank you, we celebrate you. Followed by Purity Wangeshi, a vibrant young leader. We celebrate you, congratulations. You can dance a bit as you come in. And she's followed by Shafi Osore. Shafi. We celebrate you, Shafi, congratulations on your graduation. Followed by Charlene Obinda. Another PWD champion, we celebrate you, we honor you. And we are happy you stayed the cause. Let's appreciate until she gets on stage, man. Woo! We celebrate you, Charlene. And she's followed by Sharon Corazon, the president of Rotaract Club. Woo! You look amazing in black. We honor you, man. And she's followed by Susan Wamalwa. Look at how amazing she is, man. We celebrate you. We honor you, Susan. Let's appreciate, man. Finally, guys, finally. We had a fellow from Turkana County. From Turkana County, and at one point there was El Nino rains, and he called and said, I will miss this session because barabara zimebebwa, the roads have been swept away. We can't travel to Nairobi. And then on the D-Day, I think it was the first session, you are the first person who walked through the door, and I was just out. Let's put our hands together for Tamanji Logodo. We honor you, we celebrate you, man. A refugee champion. We created awareness about refugees. We more about the challenges refugees face. We honor you, Tamanji. You are our hero. Thank you so much, my leader. You may exit the stage. So I will remain with our board member, Penina, who will be awarding certificates to our outstanding fellows. So I had mentioned the cohort chooses their leaders. And the leaders sat, analyzed, and supported us to selecting the most outstanding fellows. And they gave very compelling reasons as to why these 3 individuals were chosen. So with all pleasure, my leader, you can read why they were chosen.
So, Josephat Maina Karanja. Josephat has shown exceptional commitment by attending all sessions, actively participating in discussions, and challenging the trainers. He has also played a vital role in community service, fundraising, and establishing collaboration with contacts like Rani Ramchandai. We were particularly impressed by his impact on the fellowship, and as he has started a consultancy firm focused on mentorship and disability inclusion. Congratulations! Our next person is George Gitau Wanjiko. George has displayed remarkable dedication to the fellowship by attending all sessions and facilitating recap sessions effectively. He has also taken up the role of timekeeper, ensuring that all cohort fellows are accountable and committed to the program. Additionally, he has been instrumental in event planning, site visits, and partner relations. Congratulations, George! Congratulations. And we next have Lydia Amusugutu Ijaka. Lydia has shown remarkable improvement in participation and engagement during the fellowship. She went out of her comfort zone to facilitate recap sessions, reach out to partners for community service, and even, get this, secured a donation of 70,000 shillings from one of her contacts. Her research skills and ability to contact partners on behalf of the cohort are also commendable. Congratulations, Lydia.
Thank you very much. I will have the chief guest and our board member remain on stage, but again invite our executive director, Karen Wakoli, and our director of programs, Zacho, to award certificates to our cohort leaders. So you will take a photo between the two of you. Acho, we are waiting for you, my leader. So for our leaders, the campaigns were real, the competition was stiff, and as our president said yesterday, it is the very first elections that ended without beef. Like president said, like 5 contestants and then a few other contestants in other positions, but immediately we had the final selection. Everyone rallied behind them, supported them, and we appreciate you, leaders, for guiding us. The community service was amazing because of you. And to every iLEAD cohort 10 member, your support to the leaders, actively taking part in community service, we honor, celebrate you, and may God deeply, deeply bless you. So the first person to be awarded is Charlene Obinda, our cohort minority representative. Nduru yake na makofi. Thank you for your service, Charlene. We honor you, we celebrate you. May you keep shining, may you thrive, and may you continue passing it on unapologetically. Next is Fauzia Naomi, our cohort organizing secretary. You never tired of receiving our calls. You were there when we called for meetings. You supported the iLEAD leaders. Your input into the cohort was a ray of sunshine, and we honor and celebrate you. Bless you so much. Aki kuna watu wa clap. Lunch karibu, lunch karibu. Tunaishia. Next we have our cohort vice president, Miss Caroline Kemei Chepkoech. She wrote an article in the iLEAD publication, please hakikisha umeisoma, from the heart, about how not easy leadership is. Ukisoma utabambika, but you will appreciate what they did, the journey they walked, and we are finishing strong today. And it is the beginning of bigger, better, beautiful things to come. We honor you, Kemei. And finally, our cohort president, Franklin Ojiambo. He's one person I met that knows how to delegate. And he taught me that. Thank you, Mr. President. I'm now delegating more because of you. Let's appreciate our president, man. Music. President anataka kudance. Smile for the camera. Ule pale? Yeah. Angalia ndani ya camera, smile, pose for a photo. Thank you so much, my leaders. You may take your seats. Miss Wakoli, a surprise for you. I understand you needed to appreciate someone. Please come back on stage and the mic is yours. Oh, okay. Apparently you spoke to him about Milan and whoever. Just come back. Watu hawapendi publicity. Let's appreciate her as she leaves. Okay. Thank you so very much. I'm sure graduates may feel special. People left their errands, they canceled, they pushed forward to be here with you today. And I can see they are happier than you even are. Like wamesikia fiti, mmekuja wameclap, and then tunaenda kukula kuku pamoja. Isn't that amazing? Thank you so much for actively participating. If I had chocolate, everyone could receive a bar. I now hand over the program to Vicky to finalize. Let's appreciate Vicky as she comes on board.
Okay, so I have been given the responsibility to wind this up, but before I do that, you know we can't just let our visitors just go like that. Is it fair? No. We love our visitors. We want to show you that we love you, that we appreciate you. And so, I would like to invite the following individuals. Mr. Arnold Gekonga, the champion for SDGs, Executive Director, please come forward. I welcome Madam Penina Machoka, our ELF Africa board member, for her solid commitment to ELF Africa. Please come forward. And finally, our chief guest, Madam Catherine Musakali, for your trailblazing to us young people, young women, even young men, true or false. So we want to award them. And to award them will be Grace Ndungu from ELF Africa, Acho Gerald, and Karen Wakoli. So we've called you forward because we appreciate you and we love you and we thank you for giving us your time today. We know you've left other things. You could have been with your families. Madam Penina, maybe you would have been flying somewhere in the air, you know, showing the world what you're doing. Thank you. Thank you very much. So please accept our gifts. So to begin with, Arnold Gekonga. Grace, you will award, sorry, my back is facing the crowd. You will award Mr. Arnold Gekonga. Thank you, Arnold. Madam Penina, Acho, you have the pleasure. Yes. Yes. Asante sana, Madam Penina. Thank you for your commitment to us. Yes. And finally, for our chief guest, this one is not going out without a dance because this is like the cream. You guys know Karen loves dancing. And I highly suspect Catherine loves dancing. Yes. DJ, ongeza volume kidogo. Where are they shying? Thank you. Let's give Madam Catherine a hand clap. Okay, thank you very much. Andre, you can take over from here.
All right. Let's clap for them. All right, so we are in that session that we love the most, the photos session, okay? So this will be the order. So first of all, we'll have the chief guests, our ED, and our board. Someone, I wanted to be in that photo, I'm not seeing in the house. Acho's left. All right. They're bringing him. So let's just come on stage and have a photo. So our team leader. So wait for Acho to be in the photo. So him being the only gentleman, I would want him immediately next to the chief guest. Yes. All right. Give that killer smile. The pitching smile. The elevator smile. Good. All right. Just stay there, please. I know this is going to be tiring, but we're working with young people and we love photos. The president, the class president, and the deputy president. Any other leader in that group? All right, the iLEAD leadership, please come on stage. Then the fellows get ready. After this, you're joining this photo. All right. Okay, so all the fellows, please stay. All the fellows graduating today, kindly join the photo. Kim, we need assistance here. Okay. Sorry? Okay, so we want a very good photo here. We want you to celebrate your win today. Meaning, you can throw up the sachets and then we take the photos to show that you guys are celebrating. So camera guy, I can do a count for you. So 1, okay, let's start in 4, okay? 4, 3, 2, 1, go. I hope it captured the moment. Very good. Cheboy Josiah, please. Cheboy and Josiah has to be in this photo. Okay, so all the presidents remain, the iLEAD leadership, everyone else can leave, and then let's have the iLEAD leaders. Chief guest, the board member, you're remaining? Yes, I know. So all the presidents in the house, Susan, the P-Self presidents who are in the house, kindly join this photo. Tobias, yeah. Yes. Tobias, yes. There's another, the iLEAD fellows, iLEAD 10. This is a very presidential photo, by the way. So, the excellence is... And I think you guys can tell the class, right? Yeah. Let's make a curve. It's okay. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. So let's have our seats and then bring this to a close.
Thank you so much for that. DJ, continue until our special guests sit down. Yes. Wow. That's amazing. So, I've been given this duty, a special one, to do monitoring and evaluation for today. That is to give vote of thanks to everyone, and in a special way, to just value your time, your commitments, especially starting with the fellows. Thank you so much for inviting us to this graduation. If you didn't persevere as much, we wouldn't be here. Sinu kweli? So let us give them a round of applause. Okay, now I think I am a teacher in a way. When I say you are a round of applause, it is 1, 2. Yeah, you get that? Eh? 1, 2. Round of applause? One round of applause? Sasa kuanza sasa, si ndio? For the fellows, 1, 2. All right. Also for our chief guest. I've not said 1, 2. You need to follow orders. Yes. For our chief guests, for the inspiring words, for the wisdom that you're sharing with us. And you made some of us feel like fellows. You're addressing us, and there's so much that you can borrow from your speech. So thank you very much. 1, 2. Wow. And for everyone who has made this happen, with the staff from ELF, from these fellows, from their +1s, they are here actually, from the facilitators, mentors, who are still continuing the journey with them. I want us to appreciate. And back there, I was having a conversation around what factorial means. So I have a background in pure mathematics. And when you say 3 factorial, it should be 3 times 2 times 1. Like you should do calculation, multiplication. That is what factorial means. So when you say 5 factorial, you're actually saying 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. So when you're actually saying give someone 5 factorial, be very careful. Because 5 times 4, 20 times 3, 60 times 2, you're supposed to give someone 120 claps. So that is what 5 factorial means. So I'm going to give us 5 factorial unsolved. Yeah, unsolved, yes? Yeah, I'll try and do that unsolved so that now you can do whatever you're used to. So let us go. 1. Now that is test. Let us do the thing, yes? With a lot of energy. Sinukweli? Let us go. Thank you so much. After this, we are headed for lunch. Chiboy has already told you there's a piece of chicken there and here and there. Not only that, but so many other things. Our lunch will be served at the restaurant. So after you exit the Louis Leakey Auditorium, you will turn left and proceed. You'll be guided where the restaurant will be, where you'll be having our lunch. And all of us are welcome. Thank you so much. Vicky.
What do you need to do? I really don't have many words to say, but just to thank you for coming and to wish you a good weekend. Enjoy your weekend. Spend time with your families. For those who are still staying in Nairobi for a while, visit somewhere. Have a good time. Because you deserve it. Okay? Because you deserve it. Thank you for coming, and God bless you. Till we meet again. Goodbye.
Ladies and gentlemen, do you know that if you are a change agent, one of the things that people are looking at you is the consistency that within which you speak the same language?
How do you come to decisions? And there are those who use their heart and there are those who use their head. In this preference position, it talks about feelings and thinking. Think of it broadly that there are those who think about the impact of the decision and there are those who say, what does the law say?
For some of us, this is healing. That as we share our stories, our dots connecting, failure, success, that this will actually be a moment of owning our stories. It will be a moment of beginning to heal, beginning to realize that, oh, I matter and I have a voice.
iLEAD Fellowship is ELF Africa's flagship program targeting young change makers in Kenya and abroad between the ages of 18 to 35. And this program works with young people who have founded various initiatives. They have identified a need in their communities or spheres of influence, and they have gone ahead to start initiatives that will work with the community to bring solutions to it. So basically, the iLEAD Fellowship empowers and nurtures these young people to get to understand themselves better through self-awareness training, understand their leadership capabilities, and get to understand that leadership starts from within. You need to learn to lead self before you lead others, and through governance and civic engagement training, they get to understand why they need to actively take part in leadership and governance processes in Kenya.
First of all, I want to say this is a big opportunity. I've been fully sponsored by iLEAD, and I'm very humbled and proud to say that. Professionally, the experience I've gained so far with the coaches and mentors is fantastic. And I know through it I'm going to gain a lot of mileage as a director, because I've learned how to communicate with people, I've learned how to be empathetic, I've learned how to connect my dots. These are the things I've never had in my life, but through iLEAD, I can say so far so good.
iLEAD has come to a point where I really needed it in terms of realizing who I am, what values do I advocate for, which weaknesses do I have, which gaps do I have in leadership, just identifying that, and how do I work on the gaps that I have. I've managed to understand who I am as a person. And just understanding who I am, it means I can also understand the people that I work with. So I would say LF is really skill equipping in terms of holistic approach. The psychological aspect, what is your emotional intelligence, the physical aspect, are you looking on yourself, are you looking at your health, how are you taking care of yourself even before you take care of someone else, and also the economic aspect, how do I better myself and also better other people who I'm working with.
The key lesson is to be aware not only of ourselves but of our environment, to be able to understand that we are all different but uniquely gifted in that we all can positively contribute not only to knowledge but also to action that we take.
Through the programs that I've been participating, issues of mental health and also value-based education, we learn about empathy, but again, it is not in details to understand what levels of empathy do we have, and also not only the levels, but to understand people deeper. For me, what I'm taking home is that as a leader, empathy is what is going to enable me to relate best with the people that I'm going to lead. But not only that, even the people who are going to lead me, I'll be able to understand them better from what point of view and from what perspective are they making their decisions.
And understanding disability comes in two perspectives, where me as a person with disabilities, I also need to understand my environment, my condition, the challenges that I face, the solutions to my challenges. And again, the other perspective is where the other person, who is the public, who needs to understand my challenges too as a person with disabilities. So my highlight is there is a need for more enlightenment, both to people with disabilities and the public, on sensitization of the importance of disability and understanding disability more.
The speakers we have here interact with you, engage with you. They're very friendly. You feel like you're almost having a conversation with a peer or with a friend. It's not necessarily that you're talking to somebody who's so above you, and that makes the session more enjoyable, more interactive, more educative, and you're even more receptive to what the person is saying to you.
So I had the privilege of having a session with the most beautiful team of people. They are the most participatory, and they're actually some of the greatest minds seated in one room. Our session was more or less around readiness into the marketplace. We have great minds, but are they ready? More or less around preparation into corporate discussions, boardroom type settings, and how then to package yourselves before and after such settings.
The fellowship program is enjoyable. I'll be able to say that I'd want to be here every other time, and when we are called upon, I'd want to be the first one here because of the thirst for knowledge. I think that the ELF team are doing a good job, and will be able to recommend that this is an opportunity that other young emerging leaders should be able to look forward to when there is opportunities of this nature, because personally I have been capacity built at individual level, and this has also impacted my way of operations within my workplace and the people that work under me. And I think I now have a better team than I probably had before joining this program.
I'm really happy to have been part of this process since